The session is now called to order. Everybody is requested to rise for the singing of the national anthem.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, buyan ka ng magiging, sa manlulupi, di ka masisingil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo baghang, may nilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kisap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdidinig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pang may magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng warangit pagsinta, ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga apit, at mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Please remain standing for a prayer to be led by Honorable Evelina Escudero from the 1st District of Sorsogon.
Almighty God, we implore your guidance as we open another week of legislative activities at the House of Representatives. Grant us the wisdom and foresight necessary in crafting legislation that will have profound effects on our future. We realize that the work that we do will change the course of our country. May we be able to discern your divine guidance so that we will be able to produce the best possible legislation for the development of our nation. As we tackle the proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law, we implore your divine love so that we may be able to see the faces of each and every Filipino that we have vowed to serve. Allow us to discern the will of the people so that the outcome of our discussions and debates will be reflective of the true desires of our citizens. Almighty God, please shine your light upon us. Provide us with a moral compass so that the laws we craft will not only be constitutionally sound, but more importantly, morally upright as well. Help us to remain calm during deliberations so that intelligent debates will be able to expose the truth. May you inspire our hearts so that we can actively participate in our quest for bringing to life laws that will improve the lives of our citizens. Almighty God, all this we live to you. Amen.
Majority Leader.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, and good afternoon,
Good
dear
afternoon,
colleagues.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we call the roll of members.
Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The Secretary is directed to call the roll of members.
Roll call of members, honorable representatives. Abaya. Abayon. Abellanosa. Abu. Abueg. Acharon. Akop. Acosta. Acosta Alba. Adjong. Advincula. Agaraw. Agabaw. Aglipay Villar. Albano. Alcala. Alejano. Almario. Almonte. Alonte. Alvarez Franz. Alvarez Mercedes. Alvarez Pantaleon. Amante. Amatong. Andaya. Angara Castillo. Antonino. Aquino Magsaysay. Aragones. Arbizon, Arcillas, Arenas, Atienza, Aumentado, Bagaw, Bagaching, Bagilat, Banal, Barbers, Barsaga, Batawil, Batocabe, Bautista Bandigan, Belaro, Belmonte Feliciano, Belmonte Jose Christopher, Belmonte Ricardo, Benitez, Bernos, Bertiz, Biason, Billones, Biron, Bulilia, Bundok, Bordado, Bravo Anthony, Bravo Marabida, Brosas, Bulot Bigtang, Kagas, Kalalang, Calderon, Calixturbiano, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Cari, Casilaw, Castelo, Casa France, Casa Fredenil, Tatamco, Cayetano, Celeste, Ceravica, Cerilles, Chavez, Chipeco, Coanco, Culliantes, Cortés, Cortuna, Cosalan, Crisologo, Cuba, Cuaresma, Cueva, Dalipe, Datol, Dasa, De Jesus, De Venecia, De Vera, Defensor, Del Mar, Del Rosario, De Losa Montalia, Dimaporo Abdullah, Dimaporo Khalid, Duavit, Durano, Di, Elago, Enverga, Erice, Erigel, Ermita Buain, Escudero, Espina, Espino, Estrella, Eusebio, Iverdone, Fariñas, Fernando, Ferrer Juliet, Ferrer Luis, Ferriol, Floirendo, Flores, Fortun, Fortuno, Fentebella, Garbin, Garcia Gwendolyn, Garcia Jose, Garcia Albano, Gary Richard, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Heron, Goana Cristina, Gomart, Gomez, Gonzaga, Gonzales Alexandria, Gonzales Dong, Gonzales Fernando, Goriseta, Gulyas, Hernandez, Herrera D, Hofer, Halusos, Javier, Ko, Konghun, Labad-Labad, Lacson, Lagman, Lanete, Laugan, Lasatin, Liachon, Lee, Lim Kay Chong, Lobigat, Lopez Benhur, Lopez Carlo, Lopez Manuel, Loyola, Macapagal Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Manalo, Mangawang, Mangudodato Suarto, Mangudodato Sajid, Marcoleta, Marcos, Mariño, Marquez, Martinez, Matugas, Miliana, Mending, Mendoza, Mercado, Mirasol, Montoro, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles Jericho, Nograles Carlo, Nolasco, Nunez Maleñaon, Guaminal, Ocampo, Olivares, Ong Edwin, Ong Henry, Ortega Pablo, Ortega Vini, Pacquiao, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panganiban, Panotes, Papandayan, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Primicia Sagabas, Kimbo, Radasa, Ramirez Sato, Ramos, Relampagos, Revilla, Robapuno, Robes, Rocamora, Rodriguez Isidro, Rodriguez Maximo, Roman, Romero, Romualdez, Romualdo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sahali, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Salon, Sambar, Sangkupan, Sandoval, Santos Recto, Sarmiento Cesar, Sarmiento Edgar, Savillano, Sema, Xiao, Silverio, Singson, Swansing Estrelita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez, Si Alvarado, Tan Bunting, Tan Angelina, Tan Milagrosa, Tan Shirney, Tejada, Teves, Chanco, Ting, Tino, Tolentino, Treñas, Tugna, Tupas, Ti, Umali, Unabia, Ungab, Unico, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Uy Barreta, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velarde, Velasco, Velasco Catera, Veloso, Vergara, Villapuerte, Villanueva, Villarasa Suarez, Villarica, Villarin, Yulago, Yap Artur, Yap Milesio, Yap Victor, Yu, Samora Maracamen, Samora Ronaldo, Sarate, Subiri. Mr. Speaker, the roll call shows that 229 members responded to the call.
With 229 members responded to the call, the chair declares the presence of a quorum. Majority Leader.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Speaker, may we recognize the guests in the gallery of Congresswoman Bernadette Herrera D. as Chairman of the Committee on Women and Gender Inequality, 11 bankers participants from Sri Lanka and India to the International Leadership Enhancement Course for Women, Executive Cum-Exposure Visit on Innovative Women Empowerment Programs, being hosted by the Asia Pacific Rural Agriculture Credit Association Center for Training and Research in Agricultural Banking. These are from Sri Lanka, Mr. Speaker, Ms. Kanchana Nilmini Pereira, Ms. Dancha Signehe Chamitri Lakshika Arya Singhe, Ms. Bahirati Mukharanasu, Ms. Tiriwana Kitiyage Sakariwaka Nilmini Pereya, Ms. Tushari Shama Ann Silva, Ms. Sinad Hirage Nadira Nilanti Perez, Ms. Anusha Watsala Kumari Wilage, Ms. Janita Hareshini Jayalat Arach Hilage Donna Chandirasi, Ms. Kalotarayanage Nilupa Nilmini. From India, Mr. Speaker, Ms. Mini Tripikolala Marat, Ms. Harshita Punja, and from the APRACA Central Secretariat, Ms. Lisira V. Juarez, Ms. Gigi D. Cuevas, Ms. Grace D. M. Ferrer, and Mr. Ray R. Torres, Mr. Speaker.
To the guests of Bagong Generation Party List Representative, Honorable Bernadette Herrera, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we also acknowledge the guests at the gallery of Representative Henry C. Ong, as well as that of NATCO Party List Sabiniano Escanama and Anthony M. Bravo. These are from Mindanao Tulong Farmers Marketing Co-op, Abdul Rami Rahim H. Mantil, Balina S. Amir, and from Kangara Multipurpose Cooperative, Ms. Elena M. Velasco, Ms. Lilibeth T. Lesuigues, Ms. Maura J. Agunos, and Ms. Herminia N. Carolino.
To the guests of Congressman Ong Sabiliano, and COP-NACO members of the COP-NACO party list, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve the Journal Number 79 dated May 15, 2008, as well as Journal Number 80 dated May 16, 2018. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? The chair hears none. Journal 79 dated May 15, 2018 and Journal 80 dated May 16, 2018 is hereby approved. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we now proceed with the reference of business and request that the Secretary General be directed to read the titles of bills and resolutions on first reading, as well as communications and committee reports. So
any
move, Mr.
objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The Secretary General is directed to read the bills and resolutions on first reading for referral to the appropriate committees.
Reference of business, bills on first reading, House Bill 7653, reversing regressive and anti-poor taxation, Representative Zarate, De Jesus, and Rosas.
To the Committee on Ways and Means.
House Bill 7654, creating the Philippine Trade Representative Office, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Trade and Industry.
House Bill 7655, regulating harbor pilotage services, Representative Baleado.
To the Committee on Transportation.
House Bill 7656, recognizing national scenic byways, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Public Works and Highways.
House Bill 7657, penalizing false or fraudulent advertising, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Trade and Industry.
House Bill 7658, giving juridical personality to the present Veterans Memorial Medical Center, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 7659, financing the Education for All initiatives, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Ways and Means.
House Bill 7660, amending Section 9 of Presidential Decree 1586, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Natural Resources.
House Bill 7661, upgrading the salaries of employees of the COMELEC, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
House Bill 7662, providing for the mandatory domestic processing of all mineral ores, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Natural Resources.
House Bill 7663, providing for the recognition of the rights of victims, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Justice.
House Bill 7664, institutionalizing human rights education, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Human Rights.
House Bill 7665, establishing the National Site Strategy Plan, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 7666, establishing the Academic Excellence Foundation, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 7667, amending Section 4 Republic Act No. 7309, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Justice.
House Bill 7668, requiring the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation to provide coverage for the diagnostic services for breast and cervical cancer, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 7669, providing for a National Cervical Cancer Diagnostic and Treatment Fund, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 7670, creating the Philippine Commission on Autism, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 7671, declaring the conferment of a doctorate degree as equivalent to entry-level CESO eligibility, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation.
House Bill 7672, providing for the establishment of a drug rehabilitation center, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Dangerous Drugs.
House Bill 7673, providing for a national folic acid education program, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 7674, promoting donations in good faith of medicines, food products, or supplies, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Poverty Alleviation.
House Bill 7675, providing incentives for the manufacture, assembly, conversion, and importation of electronic, hybrid, and other alternative fuel vehicles, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Ecology.
House Bill 7676, providing for tax exemptions, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Local Government.
House Bill 7677, providing among the carta for probation and parole workers, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Justice.
House Bill 7678, requiring mandatory computer education, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 7679, regulating the practice of plumbing engineering, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation.
House Bill 7680, creating a special poverty alleviation fund, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Poverty Alleviation.
House Bill 7681, institutionalizing a pre-hospital emergency medical care system, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 7682, establishing a program for public education on prostate cancer, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 7683, defining the offense of reckless driving and providing penalties for the commission thereof, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Justice.
House Bill 7684, providing for the regulation, supervision, and professionalization of the practice, licensing, and registration of sanitarians, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation.
House Bill 7685 providing for protection, security, and other benefits for whistleblowers, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Justice.
House Bill 7686 regulating the practice of mining engineering, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation.
Resolutions, House Resolution 1827, expressing the sense of the House to condemn and investigate the detention and torture of Moro activist Jerome Sucor, Representative Sarati, Tino, and several others.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1828, expressing profound condolences of the House on the demise of Mrs. Barbara Pierce Bush, Representative Olivares.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1829, direct the Committee on Foreign Affairs and Overseas Worker Affairs to inquire to strengthen the OFWs and clarify the mandates of the DFA and DOLE, Representative Manalo.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1830, urging the House Committee on Veterans on Overseas Workers Affairs to inquire on the case of numerous abuse committed against household service workers in the Middle East, Representatives De Jesus and Brosas.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1831, direct the appropriate committee to look into the status of the 1.8 billion allocation in the 2017 budget, Representative Benitez.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1832, direct the appropriate committee to inquire on the quality of housing units, Representative Benitez.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1833, expressing profound condolences of the House of the victims of the deadly van attack in Toronto, Canada, Representative Olivares.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1834, direct the Committee on Transportation and other appropriate committees to inquire into alleged illegal charges being imposed by Grab, Representative Villapuerte.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1835, expressing sincere condolences on the demise of the Honorable Roquito Ablan Jr., Representative Velarde.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1836, congratulating and commending San Miguel Alab, Pilipinas, Representative Sambar.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports Development.
House Resolution 1837, direct the Committee on Foreign Affairs and National Defense and Security to investigate the creeping invasion of China, Representative Erice.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1838, calling for the immediate review of the implementation of Republic Act 10963, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1839, direct the Committee on Public Works and Highways to review and update the regulations and standards of the National Building Code, Representative Gonzales Aurelio Dong.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1840, congratulating the Iglesia Ni Cristo, Representative Castelo.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1841, congratulating the Iglesia Ni Cristo, Representative Castelo.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1842, direct the appropriate committee to conduct a preliminary investigation confirming the veracity of the reports of the installation of surface-to-air and anti-ship cruise missiles, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1843, direct the appropriate committee to inquire the latest report from the Philippine Statistics Authority, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1844, urging the appropriate House committee to investigate the finding of the COA revealing the anomalous multi-million transaction between DOT and BTAG Media Unlimited, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1845, urging the government to strengthen our claim and presence in the Philippine rice, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Aquaculture and Fisheries Resources.
House Resolution 1846, direct the Committee on Labor and Natural Resources to jointly inquire and conduct on-site public hearing on the impact of the government's closing down of Boracay Island, Representatives Casilaw, Sarati, and several others.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1847, direct the Committee on Human Rights to investigate the January 28 EJK of Ricky B. Olado, Representatives Casilaw, Sarati, and several others.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1848, direct the Committee on Human Rights to inquire in the March 20 EJK of Agudo Quillo, Representatives Casilaw, Sarati, and several others.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1849, the Committee on Human Rights to inquire in the March 22 EJK of Garito Malibato, Representatives Casilaw, Sarati, and several others.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1850, direct the Committee on Human Rights to inquire in the March 24 abduction of Adelaida Macusang, Representatives Casilaw, Sarati, and several others.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1851, direct the Committee on Agrarian Reform to inquire in the threat of displacement of farmers, Representatives Casilaw, Sarati, and several others.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1852, commending the Cebu 2 Electric Cooperative Inc., Representative Uybareta.
To the Committee on Cooperatives Development.
House Resolution 1853, congratulating and commending Neil Leonard Dula Etheridge, Representative Sambar.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports Development.
House Resolution 1854, direct the appropriate committee to inquire into the development of the new Bilibid Prison, Representative Biason.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1855 expressing the sense of the House on the need to convene the National Security Council, Representative Biason.
To the Special Committee on West Philippine Sea.
House Resolution 1856, direct the Committee on National Defense and Security to inquire into the reported deployment of missiles in the Spratly Islands by China, Representative Biason.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1857, extending congratulations to Iglesia Ni Cristo, Representative Nieto.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1858, commemorating the 132nd birth anniversary of Brother Felix Y. Manalo, Representative Nieto.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1859, direct the House Committee on Foreign Affairs to inquire into the removal of the Comfort Woman statue along Ross Boulevard, Representatives De Jesus and Brosas.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1860, expressing the sense of the House's indignation over the arrest of Sister Patricia Ann Fox, Representatives Casilaw, Zarate, and several others.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1861, expressing warmest felicitations, congratulations, and recognition to Ms. Dara May Tuwason, Representative Bolivares.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1862, congratulating and commending Ms. Cynthia Tomalia, Representative Bolivares.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1863, urging the House Committee on Labor and Employment to inquire into the dismal and inhuman conditions of employees' locker room and restroom in Landmark Department Store in Makati City, Representatives De Jesus, Brosas, Zarate, and Elago.
To the Committee on Rules.
Messages from the Senate. Message dated May 16, informing thus the Senate even date adopted House Bill 7007 as an amendment to Senate Bill 1617.
To the Committee on Rules.
Message dated May 16, informing thus the Senate even date passed Senate Bill 1527.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
Message dated May 16, informing thus the Senate even date passed Senate Bill 1532.
To the Committee on Trade and Industry.
Communications, letter dated April 3 of Rochelle Bridget Lim Imboy.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated April 3 of Antonio M. Humawid.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated April 4 of Fortunato R. Abrenilla.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Report on fund utilization and status of program project implementation, attested by Sulpicio N. Yu Jr.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Report on fund utilization and status of program project implementation, attested by Casey Sean M. Camacho.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Report on fund utilization and status of program project implementation, attested by Ricardo L. Suarez.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Report on fund utilization and status of program project implementation, attested by Pablio D. Sumampong.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated April 5 of Jose Jobel B. Belermino.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated April 6 of Maria Katrina Lim Yi.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated April 10 of Lynn Ivan P. Lim.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated April 10 of Prestituto B. Oxtero.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Memorandum of Benesio R. Uy.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Report on fund utilization and status of program project implementation, attested by Eugenio D. Datahan.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Report on fund utilization and status of program project implementation, attested by Juliet B. Dano.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated 11 April of Virgilio L. Urot.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated 13 April of Alex B. Benaventura.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Report on fund utilization and status of program project implementation, attested by Pedro E. Fuertes.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated April 17 of Benjamin E. Jokno.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated 17 April of Angelo Emilio G. Aguinaldo.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated 18 April of Nestor A. Espinilla Jr.
To the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries.
Letter dated April 19 of Minerva I. Morales.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated April 20 of Salvador C. Medialdea.
To the Archives.
Letter dated 24 April of Enrico L. Espanyol.
To the Committee on Legislative Franchises.
Letter dated 24 April of Roy Cecil D. Ibay.
To the Committee on Legislative Franchises.
Letter dated 25 April of Enrico L. Espanyol.
To the Committee on Legislative Franchises.
Letter dated 26 April of Enrico L. Espanyol.
To the Committee on Legislative Franchises.
Letter dated 26 April of Enrico L. Espanyol.
To the Committee on Legislative Franchises.
Letters dated 2 May of Roger E. Dino.
To the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries.
Letter dated May 8 of Attorney Concepcion Zeni E. Perolino Enad.
To the archives.
Letter dated May 9 of Salvador C. Medialdea.
To the archives.
Committee reports, report number 733 and 734 and House Bill number 7713 and 7714.
To the Committee on Rules.
Report number 735 on House Resolution 1885.
To the Committee on Rules.
Report number 736 on House Bill number
To
7717.
the Committee on Rules.
Report number 737 on House Bill number
To
7733.
the Committee on Rules.
Report number 738 on House Bill 7734.
To the Committee on Rules.
Report number 739 on House Bill
To
7735.
the Committee on Rules.
Report number 740 on House Bill 7736.
To the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we recognize the guests of the Honorable Congressman Arthur Yap of the 3rd District of Bohol. The first is Mr. Winifredo Magindang, the Filipino cab driver who saved 6 people during the Las Vegas massacre, considered to be the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history, who hails from the province of Bohol. Second is former Kapitan Ico Vasquez and Mr. Jojo Balili of Lubok, Bohol. Mr. Speaker.
Guests of Congressman Yap, please rise. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, today, being a Monday and pursuant to our rules, I move that we open the privilege hour.
Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I now move that the gentleman from the 3rd District of Negros Oriental, the Honorable Representative Arnolfo A. Teves Jr., be recognized to avail of the privilege hour. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Arnolfo A. Teves Jr. from the 3rd District of Negros Oriental is recognized to avail his privilege hour.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon and good afternoon, everybody. I rise here again today to speak on this very important matter, which is also very timely. Kailan lang nagkaroon tayo ng barangay election? Doon ko nakita ang kamalian ng anti-dynasty provision. Why? Unang-una, what is our description of a dynasty? Pag sinabi mong dynasty, handed down, di ba? Binigay sa iyo yung posisyon. Wala namang posisyon na binigay sa atin or sa kahit kanino man. Ang binigay sa atin is the willingness to serve, which we learn in our house or we learn from our elders, and the willingness to serve. Our position was given to us by the mandate of the people. Binoto tayo ng tao. Wala namang nakaupo na sinabi, oh, siya na yung uupo, kapalit ko, nakakaupo siya. Hindi ganun eh. Nakakaupo yung tao dahil pinili siya ng tao. Isa pa, why are we trying to curtail freedom? Ang dami-dami dyan na ang tagal na, sinasabi natin dynasty na natatalo din eh. Ibig sabihin, kung ayaw ka na ng tao, ayaw ka na ng tao. Ang nakita kong pinaka-stupid, sorry for the term, is yung bawal tumakbo yung anak kung kapitan yung tatay. And I realized last election, merong tumakbong kapitan, tumakbo din yung anak. Sabi ko, pwede ba yun? Sabi niya, sabi ng COMELEC, pwede daw dahil pareho kaming hindi incumbent. So kung hindi kayo incumbent, pwede kayo tumakbo sabay. What if you both win? What happens in the next election? Who will step down? Mali talaga. At isa pa, kung magkapatid kayo, hindi kayo payagan sabay tumakbo, sino yung hindi pwedeng tumakbo? Pareho kayong incumbent. Are we gonna race to the COMELEC kung sino yung mauuna? Are we gonna toss coin? And to me, it is really a curtailment of freedom. Para sa akin, kung gusto tayo ng tao, gusto tayo ng tao. Dapat nga wala ng term limit eh. Kung ginusto ka ng tao ng 100 years, then you sit for 100 years. It's just an exaggeration of the number of years. But actually, mali talaga. Kahit pa anong sabihin ng kahit sino dyan, mali. Dahil, again, we never inherit positions because we have always been, positions are always elected. Isa pa, kung pinili na natin yung sino yung pwedeng tumakbo, sino yung hindi, then we are curtailing the freedom of the people to choose. Di ba? Sana yung democracy dito? sana lang itong maiksi kong speech magkaroon ng it will bring a message to everybody to seriously consider taking out this topic more so in the coming new constitution. Ngayon pa lang, nakita ko na yung kamalian ng barangay election. Mali. As in, mali. Huwag na natin ito ipagpatuloy at huwag na natin dagdagan yung gulo at kamalian nangyayari sa ating bansa. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon again.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we recognize Congressman Crisologo for his interpellation.
The
Thank you very
Honorable
much.
Crisologo is recognized to interpellate the Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. If the gentleman will agree to some questions and some observations.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
Uh, uh, Mr. Speaker, I agree completely with the gentleman from Negros Center, the Honorable Teves. But I would also like to ask him if he was able to observe the election for the SK chairman and the SK Kagawads. Because in my district, Mr. Speaker, the SK candidates, SK chairman and SK Kagawad, had a hard time in campaigning because they have to look for those who were below 30 years old and in order for them to vote. And it made a lot of confusion in the voting. So I was wondering, because although we are not, we are above 30 years old, I think we should have a right to vote for the SK chairman and the SK Kagawad, because we also have children, we have grandchildren, and we have a right to vote for whoever will represent our grandchildren. So I would also suggest that in the investigation in aid of legislation, when this is referred, that the next election for the SK chairman and the SK Kagawad, all should be able to vote, because we have a right also to vote for the SK chairman, the SK Kagawad, if the gentleman was able to observe during the last election.
Exactly, tama yun, no? Na mali, dalawang balota pa. Dapat, kung meron tayong ilalagay na posisyon, hindi lang naman nagsiserve yung SK sa youth. Definitely,
Correct.
kasama din yun sa lahat eh. So, sa tingin ko, dapat isang balota na lang at lahat na pwede bumoto. Hindi na natin i-specialize na pang bata dahil nagdadagdag lang ng gulo. At yun, yung dalawang balota lang, ang gulo na, dalawang beses ka buboto.
Although I would agree with the qualifications, Mr. Speaker, of the SK chairman, the SK Kagawad, they should be 18 up to 24, I think, or 25. But those who should vote for them should be all. Because meron naman tayong mga anak eh. May karapatan naman tayong mamili kung sinong magiging kinatawan ng ating mga anak. So, yun lang po, Mr. Speaker, gentleman from Negros Occidental.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we refer the speech of the Honorable Arnolfo Teves to the Committee on Rules. So move,
The
Mr.
speech
Speaker.
of the Honorable Tebes will be referred to the Committee on Rules.
Mr. Speaker, may we now recognize the Deputy Speaker from Batangas, Representative Ranillo Abu, for his to avail of the privilege hour. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Deputy Speaker, Representative Abo is recognized to deliver his privileged speech.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Majority Leader. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I am here to bring to your attention the gross practices of Filipinas Shell Petroleum Corporation, more commonly known as Shell, which has been going on for 13 years. The Philippines has lost over 100 billion pesos in revenue due to the tactics employed by Shell to circumvent paying taxes. President Rodrigo Roa Duterte before has said, "I will be harsh, basta corruption I will be harsh. This is a testament to his campaign promise that there will be no corruption during his entire 6-year term. He repeated this in early 2017, reminding tax cheats and oligarchs to pay their taxes accurately and on time, or they'll face legal consequences. Despite this all, Shell still hasn't and still refuses to pay their taxes to the Bureau of Customs. Shell has ignored jurisprudence, express provisions from the Tariff and Custom Codes of the Philippines and the National Internal Revenue Code. In 2001, Shell was importing gasoline, declaring them as to catalytic cracked gasoline or CCG, and light catalytic cracked gasoline or LCCG. Unleaded gasoline and exclusively for sale, they paid their taxes on import. However, in March of 2004, they changed their declaration to tetrapropylene or for blending component. In 2010, this was again misdeclared as alkylate for blending component and other fuel oil. This then resulted in Shell not paying their due taxes for their gasoline shipments. In 2009, a newly appointed customs collector demanded a 7.348 billion payment in taxes from Shell's shipment of CCG and LCCG from 2004 to 2009. Then BIR Commissioner Joel Tantores issued a letter in December 2009 declaring that the exemption of CCG and LCCG has no factual and legal basis. Shell then filed a petition for review with the Court of Tax Appeals without filing a protest with and payment of the tax to the customs collector, claiming that the CCG and LCCG are raw materials, thus accepting them from excise tax. This was also backed by then BRI Deputy Commissioner Jose Mario Bunag, citing the Department of Energy's position that CCG is not intended for public use. The CTA initially denied Shell's motion for issuance of a suspension order against the collection of tax. Surprisingly, and without authority, the CTA reconsidered its earlier denial and restrained Bureau of Customs from collecting taxes and withholding the delivery of Shell's shipments. Because of the Tantores Memorandum demanding the payment of taxes on CCG and LCCG, Shell changed their shipment declaration to alkylate for blending component in 2010. Despite having an octane rating of 94.3, Chevron gasoline runs on a lower octane rating, yet Shell insisted that their shipments were still not for public use, therefore not subject to excise tax. They even went as far as declaring it under a different tariff classification so that the BOC computer system would not detect the shipment as subject to tax. We cannot say that the government has done nothing regarding this matter. In June 2012, former BIR Commissioner Kim Hinares declared that the alkylate shipments are indeed subject to excise tax. This then prompted Customs Collector Benavides to issue a demand letter ordering Shell to pay 1.99 billion pesos for their alkylate shipments from May 2010 to June 2011. A decision in July 2015 saw Petrom Corporation lost to the Commissioner of Internal Revenue for a similar case involving the taxation of alkylate shipments. Petron paid its due taxes and has been paying ever since. We can see other players complying with the rule of law, and yet Shell still refuses to back down and still plays by its own rules. In September 2015, the CTA and bank ruled that CCG and LCCG are subject to taxes and ordered Shell to pay only 5.7 billion pesos as they are no longer liable for the 2004 and 2005 shipments due to the BIR's tax amnesty program they availed in 2008. This was contested by the Bureau of Customs as Shell's liability was with them and not to BIR. Shell also availed this amnesty program by paying only 3 million pesos, 5% of their misdeclared 60 million peso net worth, a far cry from the 3 billion pesos they owe the government. My dear colleagues, Mr. Speaker, do we believe that Shell's national net worth is only 60 million? This could be true if we're talking of only one gasoline station in the city. Instead of paying, Shell once again filed a petition, this time to the Supreme Court, who then issued a TRO against both BIR and BOC, thus again preventing both from taxing Shell's income alkalite importations. This TRO also effectively prevented Bureau of Customs from collecting 55 million monthly taxes on its unleaded gasoline importations and from collecting the 7.348 billion pesos on CCG and LCCG shipments due in 2009 and the 1.99 billion pesos on alkali shipments due on 2011. So, what we are saying here, the point is simple. Shell's importation of CCG, LCCG, and alkalite are indeed gasoline subject to taxes. In fact, Shell never denied this to be gasoline either. Despite this, they have employed measures to make sure that they don't pay the necessary taxes, from misdeclaring their shipments, changing tariff codes, to involving the legal justice systems. It seems apparent that Shell will exhaust all possible avenues to simply avoid paying their due taxes. Shell executives have even gone as far as dangling the guilt of the loss of over 800 jobs should their refineries close due to the detainment of their shipments. The current collector of Batangas has assured us that Shell has stopped their illegal importation of CCG and LCCG in 2010. However, BIR was still able to assess a 1.99 billion pesos tax deficit in importations from May 2010 to June 2011 and today. We can still see Shell providing fuel to its consumers. Have they really stopped importation? Is the collector not aware that Shell did not stop importation, or is the Bureau of Customs in Batangas protecting Shell? Shell is currently enjoying their benefits at the expense of the Philippine government. We are losing 55 million pesos every month on alkali shipments on top of the 7 billion pesos they owe as in taxes for their CCG and LCCG shipments from 2004 to 2009, exclusive of penalties. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, as of January 2018, Shell owes us around 113.7 billion pesos in taxes, and we cannot allow this to continue. We cannot simply stand by as Shell continues to evade paying the proper taxes as they maneuver around the legal justice system. How many roads could we have built for our people to use? How many four-piece families could have benefited from the tax we are owed? How many school buildings could have been built with this amount? Shell should be held accountable for its years of technical smuggling. They should be made an example of it. It is high time that we show them that they are not and will never be above the law. It is our job as lawmakers and representatives of the people to uphold the interests of the country and the people and not those of corporations. With this, Mr. Speaker, I would like to refer the matter to the appropriate committee to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation on Shell's grossly disadvantageous tax evasion practices and to give light to our questions and inquiries. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, my dear colleagues.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Deputy Speaker Ranio Abu to the Committee on Rules. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there an objection to the motion? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, next to avail of the privilege hour is the Honorable Representative Gary Alejano of the Party List Magdalo. May we recognize him, Mr. Speaker?
The Honorable Representative Gary Alejano is recognized to deliver his privileged speech.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, and to all those present here in this wonderful day. Magandang hapon po. I rise today in a matter of personal and collective privilege. If we are to describe the true essence of China's Belt and Road Initiative, o yung tawag po natin in other term ay One Belt, One Road of China, we can say that it is a wolf in sheep's clothing. While China's generosity might, at first glance, seem to act of benevolence towards its relatively disadvantaged neighbors, there is a strong evidence that it is nothing but a strategy to extend its political, economic, and even military power beyond its borders and above international rules, norms, and conventions. The Belt and Road Initiative, the focal point of China's debt trap diplomacy, takes inspiration from the ancient Silk Roads. It aims to connect China over land and water to the economic circles in Asia, Europe, and Africa through a trade and infrastructure network. There are about 68 countries envisioned to be part of the Belt and Road Initiative, with an announced investment of $8 trillion for a vast network of transportation, energy, and telecommunications. It is admittedly an ambitious and immensely profitable undertaking for both China and its participants, if only it is conducted through fair, honest, and conventional means. China, however, has apparently adopted a strategy to trap poor nations and enrich itself by causing debtor countries to default due to massive debt and subsequently seize the country's natural resources, strategic assets, and even territories as collateral. All this just to prop themselves as the new leader. Talo pa ang mga gahaman at walang gaawang loan sharks at mga nagpapautang ng 5-6. China's debt trap diplomacy works by first providing large amounts of loans at extremely high commercial rates for infrastructure projects that could not break even the investments of or have low returns. Then the debtor, already encumbered by such large loans and high interest rates, would fail to pay. China then forces debtors to swap debt to equity. The last straw would be, in exchange for financing and building these infrastructures, China demanding favorable access to the debtor's country's natural assets, ranging from mineral resources to strategic ports. With this, the debtor country is finally under debt servitude to China, whose indebtedness will cause them to bend to China's will. According to a study by the Center for Global Development, it's a global think tank for international development, in its policy paper 121 that was issued only this March of 2018, ito po'y nag-aaral ng experiences ng ibang mga bansa sa loob ng 5 taon when the Belt and Road Initiative was first announced. There are already 23 countries identified as in risk of debt distress due to additional BRI-related financing. 8 out of these 23 have the highest risk to plunge further into debt. Lucky enough, we're not yet among these countries. But the rate on which the administration is expected to borrow from China to fund its mega infrastructure projects under its Build, Build, Build program calls for greater vigilance from all of us and the Filipino people. We must be cautious not to fall for the same tricks that tore China's victims asunder. In the case of Tajikistan, which is just northwest of China, China wrote off an unknown amount of debt in exchange for 1,158 square kilometers of disputed territory. Again, ang kapalit ng utang mula sa China ay ang pinag-aagawang teritoryo, which is 1,150 square kilometers. In Turkmenistan, China used its loans to the poor country to acquire natural gas, largely on its terms. Sri Lanka, the widely talked about case of China's debt trap, had to give up control on its Hambantota Seaport and Matala Airport to China for 99 years. Similar situations happened to countries such as Djibouti, Pakistan, and Kenya, with China demanding favorable access to their strategic assets in exchange for financing and building the infrastructure these poor countries need. In the case of Venezuela, Sudan, Angola, Kazakhstan, and Iraq, all of these countries contracted billions of loans from China, and oil is being used as collateral for their debts. What makes Chinese loans especially attractive is its unconditionality, which, unlike the loans provided by other international banking institutions or multilateral development banks, loans acquired through bilateral aid demand that borrowing countries respect rights, among other conditions. Hindi po ito required pag ikaw ay nangungutang sa China. This unconditionality, however, is coupled with ridiculously high interest rates, which can go as high as 7%. This is exceedingly higher than the 0.25 to 3% interest rates of the IMF and World Bank. Considering this, what could be other incentives of acquiring Chinese loans other than its unconditionality? Are we not better off in adhering to conditions as simple and basic as respecting human rights rather than impose on ourselves unsustainable interest rates simply for the sake of contracting loans that would demand us this moral responsibility? And may I inform this collegial body and our people that debt settlement with the Chinese government is provided in an ad hoc, case-by-case manner. China does not engage in multilateral mechanism for debt relief, unlike other major official creditors. Their usual targets are poor nations with an unstable financial records. Knowing that debt settlement with China is done bilaterally in an ad hoc case-by-case basis, and considering our current dispute with China on our territories reclaimed in the West Philippine Sea, dapat tayong magduda sa tunay na intensyon ng China sa kanilang pagpapautang sa atin. The illegal and grossly invalid reclamation of China in the West Philippine Sea is a vital part of its debt trap diplomacy in the Philippines. Once we fully allow ourselves the convenience of acquiring these Chinese loans, then and there, we too are effectively eroding our chances of staking our rightful claims in the West Philippine Sea. On the contrary, we will give in to the demands of China like the joint exploration that is being floated right now. So instead na tayo po ay tumayo sa ating sariling paa, mas gusto pa natin ang dinidemand sa atin ng China. Again, I urge you, most humbly, my esteemed colleagues, to be wary of all dealings with China. Yes, we want economic development in our country, but again, nag-ingat po tayo. Siguraduhin nating ni isang pulgada ng ating pambansang teritoryo ay hindi maipagpapalit para lamang sa tulong pinansyal na tayo-tayo rin naman ang magbabayad sa kaulihan. Debts can be repaid, but the territories we are set to lose if we are not careful with such dealings can never be recovered. The transparency of how Chinese loans and projects is also highly questionable and is indicative of the dangers lurking in such undertakings. The lack of transparency the absence of a defined framework, and the ambiguity of the projects are all valid and reasonable causes to distrust China's intentions in the BRI as a whole. China does not report on its cross-border project lending in a systematic or transparent manner. And while public announcements about project investments are sometimes made, this is not done consistently. Financing agreements are also rarely published. Even debtor countries usually do not fully and completely disclose loan information. Such is the case in the Philippines for loan agreements that the government plans to enter into with China that were envisioned to fund the build projects, infrastructure project of the Duterte administration. Nito lang ng mga nakaraang buwan, isang Chinese expert ang nagmungkahi na maaaring gamitin ng Pilipinas ang likas na yaman nito bilang collateral para sa mga pondong ipapautang ng China na kaagad namang pinabulaanan. Sabi ng Duterte administration at ng China, itong pautang na ito raw ay no strings attached. But I would like to inform you, my dear colleagues, there's no such thing as free lunch. Lahat po, kahit sa ibang bansa, even the United States, lahat po yan ay may strings attached. Depende na po sa atin yan. But given the lack of transparency in the loan agreements with China, hindi tayo nakakasiguro na talagang wala ang mga probisyong ito in our loan agreements with Beijing. In fact, it could be part of the demand later in the renegotiation should we default in our loans. Lubos itong nakakabahala. Hindi nalingid sa kalaman natin at ang maraming Pilipino na gusto talagang kamkamin ng China ang ating mga likas na kayamanan sa West Philippine Sea at maging sa Philippine Rise na kung saan ay palagi na po silang nagkakandak ng surveys. In fact, since 2012, it has been reported that Chinese mining firms had been setting up and operating illegally in Scarborough Shoal in Masinloc and in the province of Zambales. They have been exporting metals and other precious minerals which they have extracted from our lands by exploiting our porous borders. Time and again, China has proven through its actions that they have other intentions more than friendship. These actions give us the benefit of hindsight as to what extent China's deceptions and schemes would go for the advancement of its interest. Walang kaibigan ang pagsasamantalahan ang kahinaan ng isa. Walang kaibigan ang maglalagay sa iyo sa kapahamakan. Considering these realities, Congress then, being a distinct, separate, and equally powerful branch of the Philippine government, must assert its powers of congressional oversight and look into the specific conditions of the Chinese loans to be contracted by the Philippine government. Sa katunayan, dapat tignan din natin ang overall foreign policy direction ng ating bansa. Dahil tayo po ay nagugulat at nakukonfuse kung ano ba talaga ang ating relasyon sa mga bansa, especially with China. We, being the lawful representatives of the people, must have an active interest in shedding a light in the obscure spaces that these Chinese loans wish to be contracted. Having been vested this power, we must exercise it in such manner that would promote honesty, integrity, and transparency. Malaysia's newly elected Prime Minister, Mahathir Mohamad, has already expressed the same skepticism that many Filipinos, including some members of this honorable chamber, about the implications of these loans. He plans for the Malaysian government to study whether to renegotiate or completely halt the contracting of Chinese loans for their respective projects. Knowing this, it is clear that my and a few of our colleagues' apprehensions against China's debt trap diplomacy is not some political propaganda meant to discredit the present administration, but a legitimate concern that all nations who have had significant dealings with China must and should continue to raise. Dahil po, alam ho natin, pag meron ho tayong kritisismo sa ginagawa ng administrasyon, ay laging sinasami po ay propaganda o pagsisira lamang sa present administration. Hindi na po tayo pupunta sa pagsisira. We should learn from the lessons of the other countries para hindi po tayo pumasok sa ganong arrangement. I speak here today not to lambast those who support this administration's preference for China's loans, but to convince them to err on the side of caution. That there are dangers in this undertaking that, if we cannot fully avoid, then at least we must prepare for. As early as now, we can already see the repercussions of China's loans to this administration's foreign policy, particularly the West Philippine Sea. The loans are definitely being utilized by China as a leverage to control the words and actions of the Duterte administration with regards to our territorial claims in the West Philippine Sea, notwithstanding those of other claimant states. Lalong-lalo na ang maliwanag na increment militarization of the Chinese in the West Philippine Sea. Kahit na po sila'y nangako na hindi po i-militarize ang West Philippine Sea, kita naman ho natin na tuloy ang ginagawa po nila, and the Philippines is actually allowing it by justifying the actions of China. What's worse is that this preference on contracting more loans from China belies the earlier pronouncements of this administration that the Train Law or Tax Reform Acceleration in Inclusion Law will secure the infrastructure built up due to the steady revenues that it will provide. As discussed in the previous hearings, around 17% of the funding for the program would actually be sourced from train revenues. It is also a disgrace that, should infrastructure projects under Chinese loans commence in the Philippines, China would require Chinese contractors, Chinese companies, and workers to work in these endeavors, not Filipinos. Ito po ay titingnan ho natin dahil hindi pa naman nangyari sa atin, pero nangyari na po sa ibang bansa. Dahil naghahanap po sila ng transaksyon o negosyo para sa kanilang mga kumpanya at naghahanap din po sila ng trabaho para sa kanilang tao. We are taking all this uncalculated and ultimately unnecessary risk when we have trusted and reliable allies from whom we can borrow our funding. Japan, for example, offers much lower interest rates than China. We have long fostered a special relationship with the United States. The EU likewise has supported us during our most trying times. To think that the primary reason why this administration cuddles up to China for loans is because the aforementioned are critical of the government's war on drugs and human rights violations is preposterous. This government must put aside its personal prejudices for the sake of the greater public good, and Congress must be the collective conscience that must influence this change of heart. It can be done. The Philippines is a rapidly developing country. I can see with such ardent hope a brighter future ahead of us. If only we are more mindful of the steps we are taking and the changes we should embody. We have stood tall for years without fussing over Chinese loans, and I'm strongly convinced that we can continue to fare just fine without it. If such dealings are unavoidable, or if it ever becomes necessary, then we must let it, but with the condition that it should be fair, honest, transparent, and most importantly, sustainable. Otherwise, I strongly urge this government to be more creative in their financing schemes. Tap more trusted and reliable sources. Address the government's absorptive capacity dahil alam ho natin taon-taon meron po tayong sobra na pondo. Actually, in 2016, we have 596 billion of unused appropriation. And also, we can improve tax collection efficiency, all of which are better alternatives to increase government funds for development projects, rather than acquiring loans that may potentially undermine everything that we as a people have worked so hard for. Caveat emptor. Let the buyer beware. Or in this case, let the borrower beware. Kung tayo po ang nangungutang, alam ho natin ang implikasyon at consequences ng mga ito. Here's to hoping you have faithfully understood my concerns, my dear colleagues. To all my colleagues, let us exercise the powers vested upon us to deliver to our people a full and honest accounting of the debts that this government had and will in the near future have contracted. Alam ho natin na ang ating mga henerasyon, susunod na mga henerasyon, ay nagbabayad pa rin ng mga utang na inutang ng mga nakaraang administrasyon. And with that, I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity at magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we refer this speech of the Honorable Alejano to the Committee on Rules.
Any objection? Here's none. Motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
With that, Mr. Speaker, I would like to withdraw that motion because
Any
it appears that
objection?
we have an
Here's
interpreter.
none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
May we recognize the gentleman from Akbayan, Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman from Akbayan Party List, Honorable Villarin, is recognized.
Mr.
What's the
Speaker,
pleasure of the Honorable Villarin?
would the good gentleman sponsor the privilege speech be open to an interpellation?
What's the pleasure of the gentleman from Magdalo Party List?
It would be my honor to accept questions from the Honorable
You may proceed, Honorable Villarin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Majority Leader. Well, firstly, I'd like to commend the consistent stand of Kong Gary Alejano with regards to our sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea. And for that, I would like to call the good gentleman as the only or the sole representative of the West Philippine Sea over his representation of Magdalo Party List. So, would that be okay with a good gentleman? Mr. West Philippine Sea.
Mr. Speaker, I believe that our concerns in the West Philippines and even the Benham Rise is the responsibility and should be the concern of every Filipino.
Well, thank you for that humble point, the good speaker. Now, on this policy issue that you have raised about China's debt trap policy, diplomacy. Well, would you rather look this debt trap policy from a perspective that this being enamored to China with regards to in Kuwait? I mean, because right now there are still no loan agreements signed with China. China promised us $26 billion of potential loans, but until now, I think only 5 MOUs have been signed. With that, while there are still no clear-cut loan agreements being signed, do you believe that these so-called China loans would be forthcoming in the next few months, 2 years, or these potential loans are just being used as a leverage against the Philippine government for our acquiescence to their assertiveness over the West Philippine Sea, and in fact, occupying our islands in the West Philippine Sea?
Thank you for that question, Honorable Villarin. Tama po yun. China pledged the Philippines to lend us around 26 billion in October of 2016. Pero hanggang ngayon po ay hindi pa yun lumalapag sa atin. But according to NEDA, isang loan agreement pa lang ang napipirmahan, and that we should verify. Ang loan agreement to rehabilitate the Chico Dam, ayun pa lang ang sinabi ng NEDA. So dapat tingnan ho natin yan dahil we are interested in the interest rate ng paghihiram ng pondo na yan. We're also interested in the terms of payment. We should get the copy of that loan agreement. Now, gusto ko lang i-emphasize, Mr. Speaker, hindi po independent ang Belt and Road Initiative ng China to its strategic objectives. Magkadikit po ito. Actually, ang Belt and Road Initiative ay weapon po ng China in order to control the target nations. So itong mga mahihirap na bansa, ito ang target nila, and the arrangement is bilateral. Ibig sabihin, hindi po ito ino-open sa multilateral arrangement dahil merong ibang titingin sa arrangement. So pag bilateral, ay hindi natin malalaman kung ano ang pinag-usapan. Precisely what is happening in the Philippines when it comes to our foreign policy direction with China. Kasi sinasabi po, may ginagawa ang Duterte administration sa mga nangyayari ngayon. Hindi lang natin alam kung anong ginagawa yan, and they're asking us to trust them. The problem is, we really don't know what's happening. So, kaya nga, pwede din naman na hanggang ngayon wala pang lumalapag na yuan as part of the loans that were pledged to us in order for us to keep on hoping na darating po ito. And for the meantime, our actions, our words are kept away from public in spite of what the Chinese are doing right now. And I want to inform you, my dear colleagues, na hindi po titigil ang China sa kanilang strategic objective of controlling South China Sea. It's in an incremental militarization. Dahan-dahan po yan. Hanggang masanay po tayo, hanggang makondisyon po tayo, then gagawin po nila. Example, ang unang ginawa po ay merong claims, and that is in a form of historical basis sa 9-dash line. Para meron na silang basis na pinaglalaban. Pangalawa, nag-reclaim po sila ng isla sa West Philippine Sea, 7 isla po ito, para meron silang base of operation. Meron na silang base of operation, pero kailangan po nilang malaman ng lahat ng gumagalaw dyan sa West Philippine Sea or South China Sea. They have installed radar and communication facilities so that they can monitor what's moving in the South China Sea. And secondly, and thirdly, nag-install po sila ng jamming devices in order to dominate communications in that area. But kahit ano pa ang pagsaway, pag-threat sa mga dumadaan dyan o pag-challenge, kung wala naman silang gamit that they can make good on their threats, wala din po ito. So ginawa po nila, they again installed missile defense system. And this time around, pag tinret kanila o challenge kanila, it is with the certainty that you are within the combat radius of their missile system. And then, ngayon po, naglapag po sila ng strategic bomber in the island of, in the woody island in the Paracel group of islands, contested between Vietnam and China. At ang long-range bomber na po yan can cover 3,500 kilometers. In fact, abot po yan from Paracel hanggang territory ng United States sa Guam. And practically, the entire archipelago of the Philippines is covered by the combat radius of that bomber. So ngayon po, nagsimula yan sa promise ng China na hindi po nila i-militarize ang South China Sea. And we accepted that. The Duterte administration accepted that. And look at what's happening right now. Nangyayari na yan, lahat, with the Philippines even justifying the actions of China. We are reduced to being spokesperson of China in this part of the region. Pero yung hinihintay po natin ng mga loans na ito ay hindi pa po lumalapag sa Pilipinas.
Well, if that is the case, that these loans are not forthcoming, and what has been forthcoming and really happening now is an invasion of our territories, an invasion against the Philippines. And our response, official policy response, is just to jet ski, publicity stunts. Do you think that it is high time that, Congress, the House, should look into these policy responses and perhaps, and I think it should, call for an oversight, an all-party caucus should be called to discuss this issue of infringement of our sovereignty, of our territorial rights, and call on the DFA, our DND, AFP, on what should be the response of this invasion. Well, it's clear that in our Constitution, when there's an invasion, the President could declare martial law, But can he declare martial law against this invasion of China? That would be some policy issues that we can discuss. So do you think that it's high time that the House leadership should call for this policy oversight discussions?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I believe that we should, as the representatives of the people, demand from the Duterte administration to tell us precisely ano ba talaga ang relationship natin sa China. Dahil as we engage with other nations, ang bit-bit po natin lagi is our national interest. That is the primordial interest of this country. Lagi pong national interest ang ating bit-bit. The moment it will clash with the national interest of other countries, then dapat maliwanag ating foreign policy direction. Ano ba talaga ang ating relationship sa kanila? Dahil habang ginigipit ho tayo sa West Philippine Sea, ay siya naman tayong pumapasok sa bitag dito sa kabila. Because they're employing what you call hard and soft strategy. Hard, using military, pushing us to the wall, frustrating us, and painting is a picture or a scenario wherein we cannot go to war with them. Yes, we cannot go to war with them. And on the other hand, they're offering friendly relations. Aside from that, makapag-loans pa tayo, meron pang investment, meron pa mga turista na darating sa Pilipinas. So kung tayo ay hindi tumitingin sa ating national interest, which is the primary national interest ay ang sovereignty and territorial integrity, talagang mas madali hong ma-attract dito sa kabila dahil hindi ito mahirap, walang away, may investment pa. Masaya pa tayo dito. But what are we trading as a result? We are actually surrendering our sovereignty and territorial integrity on the other hand. So dapat lamang na ang Kongreso ay magpatawag po ng caucus or even an investigation to our Department of Foreign Affairs and even the Department of National Defense. Ano ba talaga ang sitwasyon? Not only on our foreign relationship with China, but also our defense relationship with China. Dahil kung papakinggan ho natin ang sinasabi ng Pangulo, nakakalungkot po. If we will assert our sovereignty, there will be trouble. You can only assert our sovereignty if other nations are trampling on our sovereignty. That's the time you assert it. Kasi kung wala namang umaapak sa atin, hindi ho natin i-assert yan. The fact na tayo ay ino-oppress, nagkakaroon po ng aggressive action sa ating mga teritoryo, kailangan ho natin i-assert ang ating sovereignty. And certainly, it spells trouble. Hindi naman ho pwedeng dahil wala tayong kakayanan, ay hindi na ho tayo tatayo sa sariling paa natin. Remember, noong unang panahon sa ating mga ninuno, itak lamang at sibat laban sa kanyon at barel. Tumayo po tayo because we as a sovereign nation ay hindi po dapat papagapi sa mga dayuhan. If we follow the line of the President, that there will be trouble if we will assert our sovereignty, what's the use of defending this country? So I agree, Honorable Tom Villarin, that this Congress should assert its mandate to us and demand from the executive department and to give us clear answers on our relationship with China.
Well, thank you for that, Honorable Speaker, Mr. Sponsor. Now, going further, just recently it was decided that a third telco player coming from China will be entertained, and this third telco player would ride on the backbone of our national grid, meaning in the NGCP, which is presently being run and controlled by a joint venture company that is also associated with China, with technicians also coming from China holding on to this very important backbone, no, our telecommunications. Do you think that with the entry of this third telco player now controlling the national grid and controlling the government's telecommunication facilities, would that be, again, part of this creeping invasion and occupation, no, of China? And whether this will have national security implications on our part. Do you think that this should also be looked into with regards to this Philippine-China relations? Again, invoking national security and national interest.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Villarin, definitely. Itong mga tinatawag ho nating critical infrastructures that have national security implications should be guarded by our national government. Hindi po basta-basta ito pinababayaan, kahit yung mga dams ho natin. Kaya nga binanggit ko kanina, there is this loan agreement that was signed between the Philippines and China to rehabilitate Chico Dam. Kung itong critical infrastructure na ito ay masira, umalason, national grid na kung saan kontrolado ang daloy ng komunikasyon at energy, itong telecommunication na balak nating ibigay sa China, practically, we are being controlled, invaded without firing a shot. Kasi parang ino-open ho natin ang ating kaloob-looban at wala na ho tayong itatago pa sa China. Kaya nga ho, ito po yung gusto ko lang iparating sa aking mga kasamahan. Dalawa ang issue po dito. Ang isang issue po ay economy. At ang isang issue po ay security. Ang nakikita ko ho ngayon ay nananaig ang pag-iisip ng ating mga opisyalis ng gobyerno paano makakuha ng negosyo and investment at the expense ng ating security. Hindi ho natin alam na in the long run ay tayo pong talo dyan. Because they can demand from us something which we don't want, but we cannot do it already dahil tali na po tayo, wala na po tayong itatago. Kaya ang security po is very important because it defines us as a nation. It provides the pillar of being a sovereign nation. Pag sinabi nating sovereign ho tayo, hindi ho tayo nadidiktahan, nagagawa po natin ang mga bagay in pursuit of our national interest.
Well, thank you for that enlightenment, Honorable Sponsor, Mr. Speaker. Now, again, on the issue of investments, you were discussing what has been coming into the Philippines. And, well, I believe that there are Chinese money coming in, but most of these are hot money, no? Meaning this come and go when the stocks are okay. Then there are also investments mainly on casinos, on gambling, particularly online gambling, which has proliferated in our economy. And of course, not to mention also drugs, which again consistently the supply of drugs still mainly comes from mainland China. So, from casinos, from hot money to drugs coming in, no, mainly from China, do you think that in terms of quote-unquote the balance of trade, are we benefiting from these trade relations between China and the Philippines when it comes to investments?
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Villarin, even on the issue of trade, talaga hong imbalance. Nasa deficit balance, ang balance of trade is we have a deficit balance of trade right now. Ibig sabihin, napakarami po ng dumarating na kargamento gamit dito sa ating Pilipinas as compared to our exports to China. Now, I agree with you, Honorable Villarin, when it comes to the proliferation of casinos and even online gaming and gambling. In fact, yung nangyari po sa Angeles, around 1,200 Chinese aliens na wala pong mga papel, ay nagulat po tayo, meron pala doon. Kaya issue po yan ng Bureau of Immigration. Kaya nagkaroon po ng suhulan para ho sila ay isalba. Ngayon, nangyayari po yan sa Pilipinas. No? Ang itong pag-proliferate ng casinos also happen in Cambodia and in even other countries. No? And this could be a best laundry machine for other illegal activities such as drugs. Ngayon po, as always mentioned in the past and even at the present, China has employed this so-called unrestricted warfare. When we say unrestricted, because this is not announced. Ito yung bigay, pag-import.
With due respect to the two gentlemen, the time allotted for privilege hour has expired. Majority Leader.
With that, Mr. Speaker, I move that we extend the privilege hour for another 40 minutes.
Any objections? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we proceed with the interpellation.
Any objection? Hears none. The motion is approved. The two gentlemen can continue their engagement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that consideration. Gaya na pong sabi ko kanina, this so-called unrestricted warfare na kung saan ang mga droga ay nilalabas sa mga target ng mga bansa. This is also called a reverse opium war because China has suffered from these opium drugs before and they want to get back to the world. No, ang tawag ho nila ay century of humiliation. Kaya yung mga droga na dumarating sa Pilipinas, tama po yan, bulk po niyan ay nanggaling sa China. And this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Kaya ho, hindi ho tayo magtataka na in spite of all the killings of the drug suspects in the Philippines, which is already thousands have been killed, bakit tuloy-tuloy po ang droga sa Pilipinas? Dahil tuloy-tuloy din po ang supply ng droga mula sa China. And sa reports, during our hearings dito sa House, 2/3 ng mga nahuhuling foreign nationals involved sa illegal drugs are Chinese. And now, we have this tendency of opening the country to Chinese tourists. Dapat tingnan ho natin dahil marami po akong report and I believe nakarating din po sa inyo na marami pong Chinese nationals right now all over the country. At nagtatanong po sila, nai-invade na ba ho tayo ng China? I believe with our open door policy to China, hindi natin maiiwasan na talagang dadagsain ho tayo. Without considering national security, then this is good for our economy. But again, huwag nating kalimutan ang aspeto ng national security dahil yung mga pumapasok po sa ating bansa ay marami din po dyan ang nagdadala ng mga illegal activities just like illegal drugs.
Thank you again for that, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Sponsor. Now let me go to another specific issue. In the context of the smuggling issue, no? Right now because we have this ASEAN free trade, we have this China zero tariff policy. So the influx of goods with zero or reduced tariffs, no, coming from mainland China has really gone up. No? And, well, right now, I think even the procurement of security papers, no, meaning that what is used for our banknotes, used for documentary stamp tax, no, even that used for our LTO licenses. No, this security paper also comes from China. No? So, parang when God made the world, diba, everything else is made in China. Parang ganun ang nangyari. And now, sa Pilipinas, practically we are very dependent, no, on China to the extent, no, of even this basic, no, our security notes, our security papers are also being subcontracted to China. And I think we have also to look into this matter because, again, this is not just a national security concern. It could be a financial nightmare, no, if China would practically be also controlling even the printing of our banknotes. Now, again, going back to the issue of smuggling, do you think that right now these tarification policies, these free trade agreements, these China-Philippines trade agreements, these bilateral trade agreements, do you think that this needs to be reviewed, no, and to look into the specifics, no, because right now, as you have also mentioned, it has national security implications, no, and even for that matter, it's not just the issue of China undermining our territorial sovereignty, but practically undermining our national security. Do you think that it's high time, no, that all trade relations, trade matters, including the aspect, no, of tariffs, have to be reviewed?
Thank you, Honorable Villaray, Mr. Speaker. Yes, yun naman talaga po ang trabaho ng Kongreso na tingnan po ang ginagawa ng ibang ahensya ng gobyerno, especially the Executive Department. Bakit po kailangan na tingnan po ito? Dahil yung over-dependence po sa China, when it comes to trade, maiwan ho tayong konti ang options pagdating ng araw. Kung tinatali po natin ang ating sarili sa trade sa China, ipaluluho rin po tayo pagdating ng araw sa trade pa lang. Pagdating pa lamang dun sa saging at pinya na galing sa Davao, malaking issue na po ang sa ekonomiya po natin yan. Pero lagi ko pong sinasabi ng ating national interest ay hindi katumbas ng saging at pinya lamang. There are so many markets available. We should diversify the markets in the Philippines considering the fact na meron tayong conflicting claims in the West Philippine Sea. So the more you are dependent to China, the less you will have the chance to assert your rights. So the less you are dependent to China, the more we can demand from them to respect our rights. So yun po nakita yung trade natin. Ang ginagawa ho kasi natin all the more na tinatali po natin ang ating sarili sa China, leaving us few options.
Well, thank you for that, again, very enlightening discussion. And Mr. Speaker, Honorable Sponsor, again, I do believe, no, that we need really to look into this Philippine-China relation from a much broader perspective. And ultimately, I think it's for the interest of the Filipino people that, as what you've mentioned, in the long run, because in an administration, you only have 6 years, no? And now we're going to the mid-year, no? And even if loans will be signed like by next year, the gestation period, no, for said loans would go up to 30, 40 months, no? And again, within the interregnum, we have lost a lot of goodwill because of our extra dalliances with China. We have lost the goodwill of the European Union. We have lost the goodwill of even Australia, our neighboring countries, and also down in the north, US, Canada, and other global partners that we have. Because for the past 2 years, we have been too focused on having this, this dalliance with China, which at the moment has not really resulted to our benefit. So with that note, Mr. Speaker, your good sponsor, I join you in your continuing stand with regards to really raising this issue as a national concern, and even for this August chamber to really look into and conduct. We can have a question hour, ask our DFA, our DND, our trade officials in plenary session to discuss with us what has happened with regards to this Philippine-China relation, so that all House members can also question these policies. So with that, Mr. Speaker, Majority Leader, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, good sponsor.
Thank you, Honorable Villarin, for that interpellation. I appreciate that. I just would like to state to our dear colleagues that I have nothing against China. We should, by all means, talk to China. But the point is, as we engage China, we should not forget our national interest. We should see clearly the implications of the South China Sea, West Philippine Sea to our country. Hindi ibig sabihin na mayroong investment, mayroong loans po ito, yan po ay free? No. There's no such thing as free. Lahat po ng investment ng China ay may kalakip na in pursuit of their strategic objectives. And I would like to remind our colleagues that we should be very careful in this, because there are a lot of members of Congress, the House of Representatives, and even the Senate that were entertained in China by the Communist Party of China. In fact, without offense to PDP Laban, the PDP Laban has struck a memorandum of understanding of Communist Party of China. And I believe I believe that the reason behind is for them to control policy direction in the Philippines. That's the reason, I believe, and that we should be very careful with that, because there are hidden agenda, there are implications to our national security and national interest in the long run. Hindi lang po ngayon, kundi in the long run, beyond the term of the President and even beyond our life. Dahil yung objective po ng China ay napakalawak. They should be world power by 2049 in the 100 years anniversary of the Communist Party of China. So tuloy-tuloy po ito. And if we will not set our policy direction clearly, masasagasaan po tayo along the way. So yun lang po ang gusto kong iparating sa ating mga kasamahan. And with this opportunity, maraming salamat po, Mr. Speaker, and to our colleagues, magandang hapon po.
Majority Leader.
Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Alejano together with the interpellation to the Committee on Rules.
Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Next to speak, Mr. Speaker, is the gentleman from the 1st District of Parañaque. I move that we recognize Representative Eric Olivares.
The gentleman from the 1st District of Parañaque City, Representative Eric Olivares, is recognized to avail his privilege hour.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Tumatayo po ako ngayon upang ipahayag ang aking damdamin at isipan tungkol sa mga kaganapan sa lungsod na aking kinakatawan sa kapulungang ito, kasama si Congressman Gaston Bunting ng 2nd Distrito ng Parañaque, kasama ang butihing alkalde ng aming bayan na si Mayor Edwin Olivares. Nais ko pong ipahayag sa kapulungan ito ang mga kaganapan sa aming lungsod tungo sa isang bagong Parañaque. Nitong nakaraang Pebrero 15, 2018, ay pinagdiwang ng lungsod ng Parañaque ang kanyang ika-20 anibersaryo sa pagkatatag bilang isang lungsod at ito rin ang ika-438 na taong pagkatatag bilang isang munisipyo. 438 taong punong-puno ng kasaysayan, 20 taon ng pagunlad bilang isang lungsod. Lubhang malayo na rin po ang narating ng aking minamahal na lungsod. Pagunlad dulot ng sama-samang pagtutulungan ng mamamayan at gobyerno ng Parañaque. Mula sa isang simpleng munisipyo na nabubuhay sa paglalayag, asinan at palayan, ngayon ay isang moderno at bagong Parañaque na ito. Mga pagbabagong naganap nitong nakaraang 6 na taon sa administrasyon ni Mayor Edwin Olivares. Simula ng manungkulan ng kasalukuyang administrasyon ni Mayor Olivares, pinasinayahan na niya ang mga reformang kinakailangan para higit na isulong ang pag-unlad ng aming lungsod. 7 taong pagsisikhay sa matinong pamamahala, wastong pamuhunan at tapat na paglilingkod sa bayan. Lubhang malayo na po ang narating ng aming lungsod na kinakatawan ng mga titik na bagong. B for business environment friendliness. A for academic and cultural excellence. G for good governance and public order. O for opportunities for livelihood and housing. N for nutrition, health, and social services. And G for God-centered leadership. Isa-isahin po natin ang mga ito. Ang una, business environment friendliness. Pinasimulan po sa lungsod ang tinatawag naming BOSS o Business One-Stop Shop ng Business Permit and Licensing Office o BPLO, kung saan ay pinabilis natin ang proseso ng pagkuha ng business permit. Simula po ngayong 2018, ipinatupad na natin ang barcode scanning. Ibig sabihin, kapag ang dokumento po ay renewal, ito po ay dumadaan sa barcoding scanning, lahat ng data sa inyong dokumento ay lalabas hanggang sa matapos po ninyo ang renewal ng inyong business permit. Mas napapabilis ang transaksyon ng ating mga taxpayers. At para sa mas mabilis na transaksyon ng ating mga taxpayers, sinimulan na rin ngayon ang online business permit application. Online na po para kahit na sa bahay, opisina, pwede nang mag-apply ng business permit. Noong 2016, umabot sa bilang na 9,640 na mga kumpanya at iba pang negosyo ang nagparehistro sa BPLO sa lungsod ng Parañaque. Samantalang nitong 2017, umabot ito bilang na 23,000 ang nagparehistro sa ating lungsod. At dahil sa pagdami ng mga bagong negosyo at pagsasaayos ng sistema, tumaas po ang ating koleksyon mula sa 1.9 billion noong 2016, tumaas ito ng 2.1 billion o may pagtaas ng 267 million or 14.02%. Sa kasalukuyan, ang budget ng lungsod ng Parañaque sa taong 2018 ay 7 billion piso o 7 billion pesos. Kabilang sa mga malalaking kumpanya sa lungsod ng Parañaque ay ang mga sumusunod, particularly po sa Macapagal Boulevard, makikita ang mga naglalakihang gusali katulad ng Solaire Resort Casino, City of Dreams Manila, Asiana, Okada Manila Resort Hotel, ang ginagawang Resorts World Manila sa Parañaque, ang ginagawang pinakamalaking Ayala Mall sa buong Pilipinas, at ang iba't iba pang mga gusali sa iba't ibang lugar sa Parañaque katulad ng Arista Condominium, DMCI Condominium, Azure Condominium, at iba't ibang mga SM Condominium at SM Establishmento katulad ng SM Sukat, SM BF, SM Bikutan, at SM Hypermarket. Sa infrastruktura, nariyan ang Skyway na nagkokonekta sa Terminal Airports 1, 2, and 3, SLEX at NLEX papunta sa Entertainment City. Dahil dito, ang Parañaque ay pinarangalang most business-friendly na LGU ng Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. At ayon naman sa Civil Service Commission, ang Parañaque po ay binigyan ng gradong very satisfactory bilang pagsunod sa ARTA o Anti-Red Tape Act. Ang pangalawang bisyon, academic excellence for education and culture. Sa kasalukuyan, ang aming alkalde na si Mayor Edwin Olivares ay nagpapagawa ng isang malaking gusali para sa pamantasan ng lungsod ng Parañaque. Ito po ay matatagpuan sa panulukan ng Kabiasnan Road at Coastal Road. Ito ay may taas na 5 palapag at mayroong multi-purpose roof deck na may bleachers, 40 silid-aralan. Ito po ay unang yugto ng construction at sa ikalawang yugto magpapatayo po ng ating lokal na pamahalaan ng isa pang gusali at isa pang Parañaque Astrodome sa nabanggit na lugar. Sa kasalukuyan ay mayroon ang Parañaque ng Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Parañaque Campus at ang Parañaque City College. Sila po ay i-relocate sa bagong campus na ginagawa po sa pangkasalukuyan. Kasama po sa programa ng ating pamahalaan ay ang pagbibigay ng college educational financial assistance sa mag-aaral na may angking husay at talino at karapat-dapat ng mga mag-aaral ng ating lungsod sa ilalim ng tanggapan ng Special Service Office. Sa kasalukuyan ay mayroong 6,223 na scholars sa iba't ibang kolehiyo at universidad sa Kalakhang, Maynila. At sa taong 2018, mayroon tayong 2,476 na scholars. Sa kasalukuyan, ang lungsod ng Parañaque ay mayroong 16 public high school campuses at 32 public grade school campuses. Sa nagdaang 5 taon, sa pananungkulan ng ating butihing Mayor Edwin Olivares, at sa tulong ng Abang Lingkod at ng DepEd at ang DPWH ay nakapagtayo ng mahigit 700 na additional silid-aralan sa mga batang publiko. Atin din pong pinasinayaan ang makabagong 5 palapag na City Public Library na halos kompleto ng ating mga kagamitan, computer units, reference books, mini theater, section para sa senior citizen at garden library sa roof deck. Ang pagpapalakas at muling pagbuhay sa mga nakagisnang tradisyon at kultura ng ating lungsod, katulad ng sunduan, senakulo, lambat festival, sayaw ng pagbati, komedya, mamita, binibining Parañaque at natatanging Parañaqueños, ay binigyang diin at importansya ng lokal na pamahalaan upang pagyamanin ang kultura at tradisyon sa lungsod ng Parañaque. Ang pangatlong bisyon, ang good governance and public order. Ang pagpamanatili ng maayos na pamahalaan ang siyang naging daan para maihatid po natin ang mga programa at proyekto sa ating mga kababayan. Ang pagpapanatiling malinis ng ating mga pangunahing lansangan, pagpapaganda ng ating center, pagdaragdag at pagkukumpuni ng mga streetlight sa lahat ng iskinita at kalsada ng ating lungsod, katulad ng Ninoy Aquino Road, Quirino Avenue, Sukat Road, East and West Service Road sa SLEX, Doña Soledad at iba pa. Tiniyak din po natin na may makabuluhan at sadyang kailangan ang mga programa at proyekto na magdudulot na buti at ginhawa sa ating mga kababayan sa lungsod, ang ating mga naisagawa at pinagkakagastusan. Isa po rito ang kasalukuyang papagawa ng multi-level parking sa tabi ng City Hall ng lungsod ng Parañaque. Ito po ay may 3 palapag na may roof deck at 165 cars parking slot at 54 motorbike parking slots. Ito ay mayroong mezzanine para po sa city storage area upang ganap ng maging malinis ang ating City Hall sa quadrangle at hallway. At bilang pagtupad sa kautusan ng ating mahal na Pangulo, Rodrigo Roa Duterte, natapos na po ang pagpapagawa ng gusali ng Parañaque Anti-Drugs Abuse Council upang matulungan po ang ating mga kababayang naligaw ng landas at makabalik sa ating lipunan. Ang pagpapatayo ng bahay Pag-asa para sa ating mga menor de edad na nagkasala sa batas, minarapat po na ihiwalay ang mga batang ito at huwag isama sa city jail upang sila'y mabigyan ng pag-asa. Kasama rin po yung pinatutupad dito ang alternative learning system, moral ascendancy program, at may livelihood component din po. Natapos na din po ang gusali ng Bahay Aruga at ito ay may 3 palapag. Sa unang palapag, ito po ang Home for the Aged. Sa ikalawang palapag, dito po ay mayroong Bahay Aruga. Ito ang magiging shelter ng mga street at abandoned children. At ang ikatlong palapag po ay para sa Women Wellness Center. At yun ang mga kababaihang biktima ng pang-aabuso at human trafficking. Nakatugon sa pagbabalangkas ng pondo ng ating lungsod upang ipatupad ang mga proyektong aking nabanggit, ganon din ang pagbibigay ng RPT share sa aming 16 na barangay ng aming lungsod sa takdang oras upang magamit po nila sa pagbibigay ng tulong at serbisyo sa ating mga kabarangay. Ang paglago ng ekonomiya ay bunga ng maayos na pamahalaan. Ito ay nagdudulot ng maraming kabutihan sa ating lungsod. Kapansin-pansin ang ibinaba ng bilang ng kriminalidad sa aming lungsod. Di rin po matatawaran ng sipag at maagap na pagtugon ng kagawaran ng pamatay-sunog o Bureau of Fire Protection. Idagdag pa rito ang sama-sama at patuloy na pagsanay at kahandaan ng tanggapan ng Local Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office. Ang aming lokal na pamahalaan ay may pinatupad ng mga public-private partnership program na kung saan ay wala pong gagastusing pera ang aming pamahalaan kahit 1 sentimo. Ito ay ang mga sumusunod. Karagdagang reclamation sa area ng Entertainment City or Bay City sa Macapagal area along Ross Boulevard na may laking 300 hectares. Ito po ay magdudulot ng ibayong sigla sa ating lokal na ekonomiya, karagdagang hanap buhay sa ating mga kababayan, at pagtaas ng lokal na kita ng ating lungsod. Sa unang bahagi ng taong ito, ipatutupad ang upgrading ng online processing system ng mga business permit sa pamamagitan ng public-private partnership. Maliit at masikip na po ang aming public cemetery o Himlayang Paranaque. Sa nakalipas na taong 2017, ang tanggapan ng SSO ay nakapagbigay tulong ng 1,143 sa mahirap na pamilya na namamatay na nabibigyan ng libreng palibing ng aming alkalde. Sa kadahilangan ito, napansin po natin ang pagsikip ng ating Himlayang Paranaque, kaya't minabuti pong magpagawa ng crematorium, chapel at columbarium ang pamahalang lungsod ng Parañaque na may kabuang bilang na 7,000 slots upang sa ganoon ay maging maayos, malinis at maginhawa at magiging kalagyan ng aming Himlayang Paranaque. Pang-apat, opportunities for livelihood and housing. Ang tanggapan ng Public Employment Service Office ay tuloy-tuloy po ang mga programang pangkabuhayan at pagbibigay oportunidad na magkaroon ng hanap buhay ang ating mga kababayan sa Parañaque. Mahigpit pong pinatutupad ang ordinansa na nagtatakda sa bawat kumpanya na dapat 40% ng kanilang mga empleyado ay mamayan ng lungsod ng Parañaque. Sa ganitong paraan ay masisiguro natin na mabibigyan ng prioridad na magkatrabaho ang aming mga kababayan. Narito po ang datos na nabigyan natin ng hanap buhay at pangkabuhayan sa taong 2017 ayon sa sumusunod. Ayon sa datos ng Parañaque Livelihood Resource Management Office, nakapagtapos ng 1,769 na mga scholar sa iba't ibang mga TESDA courses. Kasama din po sa priority program ng kasalukuyang administrasyon ng lungsod ay ang pagsasaayos ng mga waterway system sa lungsod ng Parañaque. Kung saan po ay may kinakaharap na suliraning tungkol po sa mga pamilyang naninirahan sa mga mapaganib na lugar katulad po ng creek, esteros at sa Parañaque River. Naalis na din ang mga informal settlers na naninirahan sa mga tabing ilog sa lungsod at sila po ay nabigyan ng in-house and outside of Parañaque relocation. Dahil dito, nabawasan ang baha sa aming lungsod. Nakikita rin sa larawan ng malinis na Parañaque River, nagkaroon ng maraming pagsasagawa sa sheet filing, dredging, riprapping, cleaning program, at ang aming diversion river, kaya nabawasan po ang baha sa lungsod ng Parañaque. Sa pakikipagtulungan ng iba't ibang kagawaran ng pamahalang lungsod, ng mga ahensya ng pamahalaang nasyonal at non-government agencies, nagawa po ang mga pamilyang naninirahan sa danger zone na mailikas at mabigyan ng permanenteng matitirhan, maging ito man ay off-city or in-city relocation. Sa off-city relocation, mahigit 3,000 po ang narelocate sa 13 Martires, Naik, at General Trias, Cavite. Sa mga in-city permanent relocation, mahigit 500 families sa in-city socialized housing project sa C5 sa Barangay La Huerta. Mahigit 3,848 families na po ang nabigyan ng pabahay ng lungsod ng Parañaque. Ang panglima, Nutrition, Health, Senior Citizens, Welfare, and Social Services. Binibigyan po ng mataas na prioridad ang pangangalaga sa kalusugan ng ating mga kababayan. Kung ang ating mga mamamayan ay malusog, malakas at maganda ang kalagayan ng kanilang kalusugan, ito'y sumisimbolo ng maunlad na pamayanan. Noong February 13 ng taong kasalukuyan, pinasinayaan ang pagtatapos ng konstruksyon ng Ospital ng Parañaque sa unang distrito. Ang phase 1 nito ay 4-story building, phase 2 ay 6-story building, at ang phase 3 naman ay 7-story building na nagkakaroon ng kabuuang 120-bed capacity na mayroong blood bank, CT scan, X-ray, physical therapy center, intensive care unit, at karagdagang patients beds. Nais ko rin pong ipabalita sa inyo na magkakaroon ng groundbreaking ceremony bilang pagbibigay daan sa pagpapatayo ng panibagong ospital ng Parañaque sa ikalawang distrito ng aming lungsod. Ito po ay matatagpuan sa kabaan ng Doña Soledad Extension. Ito ay magkakaroon ng 4 na palapag at mayroong basement parking na mayroong 200-bed capacities. Malaki po ang maitutulong nito sa aming mga kababayan na nangangailangan ng tulong medikal. Tuloy-tuloy din po ang pagsasagawa ng serbisyo medical caravan, dental at mga programang nutrisyon sa 16 na barangay at kasama po ang mag-aaral sa daycare centers na may bilang na 9,516 mga kababayan natin ang napagserbisyuhan ng programang ito. Ang ating pamahalang lungsod ay nagpagawa na rin po ng Animal Bite Center, ng City Dog Pound, at ito po ay pinatutupad ang ordinansa sa lungsod ng pag-uutos sa paghuli sa mga galang aso at pusa at pagpapatupad ng pataw na parusa sa lumalabag na ito. Maayos at sinisiguro po natin ang pagpatupad ng OSCA o yung pong Office of Senior Citizen Office ng mga programang naglalayon para sa ating mga senior citizens. Ang pagbibigay ng cash gifts tuwing sasapit ang kanilang kaarawan at karagdagang cash benefits tuwing sasapit ang Kapaskuhan, 42,299 registered senior citizen sa ilalim ng OSCA Cares Card. Libre rin ang pagpapanood ng sinihan pag Lunes at Martes sa lahat ng sinihan sa lungsod ng Parañaque. Tumutulong at nangasiwa rin sa pamahagi ng social pension sa 6,670 senior citizens. Pinangasiwaan po ang pamahalang lokal ang mag-enroll ang mga 67,000 senior citizen sa PhilHealth. At ang panghuli ay ang God-centered leadership. Sa kabuuan, ang lahat ng pagbabago at pagunlad sa aming lungsod ay hindi magaganap kung wala ang tiwala at masiglang pakikipagtulungan ng mamamayan ng Parañaque. Naniniwala rin kami, mga Parañaqueño, na ang lahat na ito ay biyayang kaloob at gabay ng ating poong may kapal. At sa turo ng ating Panginoong Hesukristo. Dito sa Parañaque, matatagpuan ang dalawang pinakasikat at pinakamalaking simbahan sa buong Pilipinas. Ito ang Our Lady of Perpetual Help o Baclaran Church at ang St. Andrew's Cathedral. Naniniwala kami sa Parañaque na ang tunay na sukatan ng anumang pagunlad ay ang kalagayan ng bawat tao sa isip, pisikal at espiritual na buhay. Naniniwala rin kami na ang bawat tao ay nauhubog sa bawat pamilya, kaya't patuloy ang programa ng lungsod sa pagpapatibay ng institusyon ng pamilya, kaya tuloy-tuloy rin po ang aming libreng kasalang bayan na ginagawa 4 times in a year. Sa pagtatapos, ang lahat ng kawani ng lungsod ng Parañaque ay nagkakasama sa pagunlad ng aming lungsod. Sa larawan, makikita ang bumubuo ng City Council ng Parañaque, Vice Mayor Rico Goles, at 16 na konsehal at ABC President, ang inyong lingkod at Congressman Gaston Bunting, at ang aming masipag at butihing alkalde, Mayor Edwin Olivares. Salamat po at mabuhay ang bagong Parañaque.
Happy 20th anniversary,
Salamat
Congressman Olivares. Kano-ano po ninyo yung mayor doon?
Kapatid ko po.
Kapatid po ninyo. Kaya pala magaling. Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. This representation joins the Speaker in congratulating Parañaque City on its 20th anniversary as a city. And with that, Mr. Speaker, we respectfully move to refer the speech of the Honorable Representative Eric Olivares to the Committee on Rules. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, next to avail of the privileged hours, the representative from Party List Act Teachers, Representative Franz L. Castro. May we respectfully move that she be recognized.
Ang kagalang-galang pong kinatawan mula sa Party List na Act Teachers, kinatawan na Franz Castro ay nire-recognize ng kapulungan ito para i-avail ang kanyang privilege.
Maraming salamat, Ginoong Speaker. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Ginoong Speaker, ang representasyon pong ito, 10 ng aking mga kasamahan sa ACT Teachers Party List at ni Congressman Tino ay nagbibigay pugay sa mga guro na nagsilbi noong nakaraang May 14 Barangay and SK elections. Hindi matatawaran ang dedikasyon ng mga nagsilbi bilang miyembro ng Board of Election Inspectors at ang kanilang mga support staff. Hinarap nila ang mabibigat na tungkulin at perpetual na hirap ng kalagayan ng ating eleksyon na dumodoble sa isang manual elections gaya ng nakaraang barangay and SK elections. Pinagpupugayan natin ang mga guro, iba pang mga DepEd personnel, at maging ang ibang mamamayang kinuhang oportunidad na magbigay ng election service na maglaan hindi lang ng 1, 2 o 3 araw dahil naghanda sila sa eleksyon ng eleksyon paraphernalia at nag-training o orientation with the COMELEC days before May 14. Sila ay gumising ng maaga sa eleksyon dahil 5 a.m. pa lang po ay dapat nasa presinto na. Sila ay halos 24 oras nagising. Ang iba pa nga ay lagpas sa 24 oras dahil ang voting ay hanggang counting and canvassing of votes. Inaabutan sila ng sikat ng araw sa presinto sa sumunod na araw para magbilang ng boto. Ang ating mga poll workers na karamihan ay mga public school teachers pa rin ay tumayong frontline delegates, officers ng COMELEC. Sa kanila nabubunton ang mga galit kapag may botanteng nawala sa listahan ng COMELEC o may nagpalit na bumoto o may nagpipilit na bumoto kahit wala sa voters list. Exposed rin sila sa risk, harassment, and threats ng mga kandidatong nagbabanggaan sa eleksyon. At puyat, pagod, gutom at mahaba pang listahan ng hirap at sakripisyo. Ang iba ipinagpaliban ang sariling karapatang bumoto dahil sa umaapaw na mga botante sa mga presintong binabantayan nila. With such hardship and sacrifice of our poll workers in mind, pinasa noong nakaraang 16th Congress ng ACT Teachers Party List sa pangunguna ng aking kasamahang kinatawan, Representative Tino, ang Election Service Reform Act o Republic Act 10756. Buhat na matinding hirap at high risk na kadikit ng pagbabantay ng boto, ginawa ang RA 10756 na voluntary na at hindi mandatory sa mga public school teachers ang election service at maaari na mag-volunteer ang mga private school teachers, iba pang mga government employees at ibang kwalipikadong mamamayan na magbigay ng election service. Binigyan ng laya ang mga guro na tumanggi na maging BI o BET at bilang pagkilala na rin sa mataas na katapatan at sense of service ng mga guro at kababayan nating sumusuong sa ganitong gawain, tinaasan ng RA 10756 ang honorarium, allowances at iba pang mga compensation package. Kabilang na dito ang legal assistance, medical benefits, insurance at iba pa. Pero sa nakaraang 2018 barangay and SK election na unang implementasyon ng ESRA, marami kaming puna bilang author ng batas. Pangunahin dito ang pagiging voluntaryo ng election service. Hindi na siguro ng COMELEC at DepEd na tunay ngang voluntaryo ang pagkaka-appoint sa mga guro at DepEd personnel sa kabila ng pinaabot sa kanila.
With due respect to the gentle lady.
With the indulgence of the lady, Mr.
Yes,
Speaker,
Majority
I'm
Leader.
sorry for interrupting, but our 40 minutes extension has just expired. With that, I move for another extension of 45 minutes, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority
I
Leader.
move that we again recognize the Honorable Castro for her speech.
Honorable Franz Castro is recognized to continue her privilege.
Maraming salamat, Ginoong Speaker. Sa nakaraang 2018 barangay and SK election na unang implementasyon ng ESRA, marami kaming mga puna bilang author ng batas. Pangunahin dito ang pagiging voluntaryo ng election service. Hindi na siguro ng COMELEC at ng DepEd na tunay ngang voluntaryo ang pagkaka-appoint sa mga guro at DepEd personnel sa kabila ng ipinaabot sa kanila na sa ground dating gawi ang nangyayari. Ibig sabihin ay kung ano ang listahan ng teachers na ipinasa ng mga principal, yun na ang inappoint ng election officers ng COMELEC. Pinayuhan natin ng COMELEC at DepEd na una maglunsad ng masinsing information campaign ukol sa pagiging voluntary ng election service. At ikalawa, magpapirma ng consent form sa mga ia-appoint na Board of Election Tellers. Sa kasamaang palad, hindi ito lubusang nagawa ayon sa mga reports sa field. Ikalawa, Mr. Speaker, ay ang tungkol sa delay ng pagbibigay ng kompensasyon sa kabila ng mga hirap at sakripisyo ng ating mga Board of Election Tellers. Hindi na ibigay sa kanila ang minamandato ng batas na karapat-dapat at maagap na honorarium at travel allowance. Kahit naging bangungot ang karanasan ng BEI sa sistemang cash card noong mga unang ipinatupad ito noong eleksyon 2016, inulit na naman ito ng COMELEC. Talamak tuloy ang mga reports sa buong bansa na walang nakuhang cash cards ang BET bago ang araw ng halalan hanggang linggo matapos ang halalan. Para sa iba, mistulang insulto ang pagbibigay sa kanilang cash cards na kahit na anong pindot ang gawin nila sa ATM, wala naman palang laman. Ipinangako ng COMELEC na maibibigay ang honorarium pagpatak ng alas 5:01 ng hapon sa araw ng eleksyon. Pero para sa maraming BI, lalong-lalo na po nasa malalaking syudad gaya ng NCR, Cebu at Davao at malalayo sa Kabiasnan, walang nangyari sa pangakong ito dahil sa wala namang card. Laging offline ang bangko. Ang BIs natin sa Lapu-Lapu City, wala pang natanggap na honorarium hanggang ngayon. Sa dahilan ang COMELEC daw ay understaffed. Sa Cavite ay tinatayang 40% lang ang nakakatanggap mula kahapon. Ang panawagan po ng maraming guro at iba pang nagsilbi sa eleksyon na wag nang muling gamitin ng COMELEC ang sistemang cash card dahil ito ay nagpapatagal sa pagbibigay ng honorarium at nagbibigay lamang ng dagdag pahirap. Pinalaalahanan natin ang COMELEC na ayon sa Section 10 ng ESTRA, ang honorarium at travel allowance ay dapat maibigay sa ating mga BEI or BET sa loob ng 15 araw matapos ang araw ng eleksyon. Otherwise, election offense ang abuti na opisyal na responsable sa delay. Para sa mga matagal nang nagtaguyod ng kampanya para sa adequate and election service compensation, bawat araw na hindi matatanggap ang honorarium at transportation allowance at bawat rason o excuse for such delay ay isang disservice sa mga nagbantay sa karapatang bumoto. Panawagan natin sa COMELEC na wag na itong paabutin ng May 29 ang delay at ibigay na sa lahat ng mga BET ang kanilang mga honorarium at transportation allowance. Ikatlo, Ginoong Speaker, ay ang pagkaltas ng 5% withholding income tax ng BIR sa election honorarium at travel allowance. Bilang isa sa author ng RA 10756 na ninindigan ng ACT Teachers Party List na walang basihan ang imbentong buwis na ito ng BIR. Saang probisyon ng RA 10756, hinugot ng BIR ang otoridad niyang bawasan ang mga honorarium at transportation allowance ng ating mga BEI. Wala itong buwis dati sa ilalim ng Omnibus Election Code at mga amyenda nito. Wala ring basihan ang income tax na ito dahil in the first place, ang honorarium at transportation allowance ay hindi income. Ito ang nakasaad sa ilalim ng National Internal Revenue Code at mga amyenda nito, kasama ang pertinent BIR rulings at revenue regulations ng BIR. Hindi nakukuha ang honorarium at transportation allowance ng mga BEI at iba pang mga persons rendering election service buhat ng practice at profession o conduct of trade or business na siya lamang pwedeng magresulta sa tinatawag na income. Kaya ang singil natin ngayon sa BIR, i-refund agad ang illegal na pinataw na 5% income tax sa election honorarium at transportation allowance at ibigay ang buong halaga ng mga ito ayon sa minamandato ng ESTRA. At panghuli, Mr. Speaker, ay ang kakulangan ng mga medical benefits, legal assistance at indemnifications na minamandato ng Section 6, 7 and 8 ng ESTRA. May pinaabot sa aming reports na ang mga BEI na nangangailangan ng agarang tulong medikal at legal sa araw ng eleksyon at pagkatapos, mga inabutan sa presinto ng mataas na fatigue at BP at iba pang sakit o nabiktima ng election-related harassment. Ngunit ang mga benepisyong ito ay hindi naibigay. Walang ipinaabot sa atin ng COMELEC o isinapublikong MOA sa pagitan nito at ang Integrated Bar of the Philippines na sinabi nila dun sa aming dialogue. At iba pang mga legal groups for free legal assistance gaya ng madalas na ginagawa tuwing elections. At gaya ng pinangako ulit nito nung bago mag-eleksyon noong May 14. Panawagan namin na gawing otomatiko ito ng COMELEC for 2019 elections at gawing institutional na ito sa mga darating na halalan. Panawagan din ng mga guro at iba pang nagsilbi ng eleksyon na taasan ang monetary benefits gaya ng honorarium at transportation allowance, death benefits, medical assistance at legal indemnification. Gaya ng unang nasabi, ang punot dulo ng Election Service Reform Act ay ang makatarungang pagbibigay ng sapat na pagkilala ang matinding hirap at mataas na risk na sinusuong ng ating mga guro at iba pang mga nagsilbi sa eleksyon, at pagpupugay sa kanilang mataas na katapatan at sense of service. Ngunit nawawala ng saysay ang batas kung hindi ito ay pinatutupad ng wasto ng mga ahensya gaya ng COMELEC, DepEd at BIR. Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Speaker.
Maraming salamat po. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the lady to the Committee on Rules.
Any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Next to speak is the lady from Kabataan. I move that we recognize the Honorable Sarah Jane Elago.
The lady from Kabataan Party List, Honorable Sarah Jane Elago, is recognized to avail her privilege.
Maraming salamat, Ginoong Speaker. Sa darating na May 23, mag-iisang taon na matapos ang deklarasyon ng martial law sa Mindanao. Nais kong magbahagi hinggil sa nadaluhan na forum nitong nakaraang Sabado tungkol dito. Dito ay tinalakay ang mga epekto at nararanasan ng iba't ibang marginalisado at vulnerableng sektor isang taon matapos ang deklarasyon ng batas militar sa Mindanao. Bilang kinatawan ng kabataan, Ginoong Speaker, ngayon nais ko namang maibahagi ang hinggil sa ilang kaso ng mga atake sa karapatan ng mga bata, ng mga kabataan, at sa isang bagay na mahalaga sa kanila, ang karapatan sa edukasyon. Sa panahon ng Duterte administration at sa panahon ng martial law sa Mindanao, hindi pinalagpas ang mga kabataan. Ginoong Speaker, ang pinakahuling kaso ay ang pamamaslang sa batang si June Mark Acto, nito lamang April 21. Si June Mark, libang taong gulang, o 15 taong gulang, Mr. Speaker, ay isang grade 8 student sa Ipong National High School sa Davao del Sur. Siya ay sinuotan ng itim na long sleeve na may markang nakalagay na NPA sa gitna at natamnan pa ng isang baril. Pagkatapos niyang mapikturan, binalandra siya bilang isang batang rebelde. Mr. Speaker, kahit pa ang kanyang mga kaanak, ang principal ng kanyang high school, mga guro, at barangay kapitan, ay makakapagtestigo na siya ay isang estudyanteng lumad at hindi miyembro ng New People's Army. Siya ay naparatangan na rebelde ng mga militar upang sila ay makatakas sa kanilang pananagutan at bigyang katwiran ang kanilang pagpatay kay June Mark. Hindi po ito katanggap-tanggap, Ginoong Speaker. At sinasamahan natin ang pamilya ni June Mark sa panawagan ng hustisya. Mayroon ding naitalang torture case. Noong Disyembre lamang din, may nagtangka na patayin ng mga sundalo mula 71st IB na mga 2 kabataan mula Compostela Valley. Sila ay sina Janry, 22 years old, at Jerry, 17 years old. Nilagay sila sa hukay at sinunog ng buhay. Pero bago sila sinunog, mabuti po ay sila ay nakatakas. Ngunit bago sila nakatakas, sila ay nakaranas at na-torture sa loob ng 8 araw. Nakaranas ng mga pagpalo, ng suntok at kung ano-ano pa. Mr. Speaker, sila ay nakapagsampa na ng complaint sa harap ng Commission on Human Rights sa kasong abduction, illegal detention, torture, at frustrated murder. This complaint, filed in March 2018, is the first documented case of torture implicating the military since the declaration of martial law in Mindanao last year. Ginoong Speaker, ganoon din nakabi-kabila ang mga atake sa mga eskwelahan, lalo na sa mga lumadnong paaralan. Ang isa sa mga pinakatumampok sa akin na sinabi ng isang kabataan na lumad sa naturang forum na ito. Kung ang karamihan sa inyong mga anak ay gumraduate, nagsipagtapos nitong Marso at Abril, halos 2,000 katulad kong lumad na mga estudyante ang hindi nakapagtapos sa taong ito dahil sa pag-atake at pwersahang pagpapasara sa aming mga paaralan. Walang habas po kaming inaatake dahil ang paaralan namin ay ekspresyon ng aming paglaban para aming madepensahan ang aming lupang ninuno. Gusto nilang sirain ang aming paaralan dahil kami po ay tinuturuan ng aming mga guro hinggil sa aming mga karapatan bilang mga katutubo. Sa katunayan, Ginoong Speaker, umabot na sa 56 na mga lumad schools ang naipasara ng mga militar kasama ng kanilang LGUs. 19 sa mga ito ang sinira, mayroon ding mga sinunog. Lalo ring lumala ang atake sa mga paaralan ng mga lumad, matapos na ang presidente na mismo ang nag-utos na bombahin ang kanilang mga paaralan noong July 2017. Pagkatapos iyon sabihin ng Pangulo, makalipas lamang ang isang buwan, ay pinaslang si Obelio Bayao. Siya po ay isang grade 6 student mula sa Talaingod, Davao del Norte. Ang kanyang mga magulang na si Tatay Benjo at Nanay Eugenia at ang kanyang kapatid na si Jairos ay nakasama ng representasyon na ito at kasama ng iba pang mga estudyante ng mga paaralang lumad at kanilang mga magulang sa iba't ibang mga pagkilos para sa panawagan ng hustisya at dagliang may mapanagot sa pagpatay kay Obelio Bayao. Sang-ayon sa Save Our Schools Network o SOS, hindi lamang sa mga atake sa paaralan at sa kapwa nila estudyante natatapos ang mga atake. Patuloy pa rin na nilalabag ang kanilang mga karapatan, ang karapatan sa disente at mapayapang pamumuhay, karapatan sa edukasyon, at lalong-lalo na sa karapatan sa sariling pagpapasya, sa napakaraming mga naghahangad sa yaman ng kanilang mga lupang ninuno. Sa katunayan, naitala rin ng SOS ang 16 na mga insidente o lampas sa 2,300 na mga lumad, kasama ang mga magulang, mga guro, at ilang estudyante na pwersahan na pinaamin na sila raw ay mga NPA surrenderies. Ngunit, Ginoong Speaker, sila po ay naninindigan na sila ay mga sibilyan at tinakot lamang upang sila ay mapaamin. Nakapagtala rin ang SOS Network ng 4 na insidente ng pambobomba sa mga pamayanan na nakaapekto sa mahigit 1,200 na mga residente. Sa 2 taon lamang ng Duterte administration, may 29 ng insidente ng pwersahang paglikas o forced evacuation na nakaapekto sa 11,000 mga lumad at magsasaka. Nakasama namin sa ilang lobbying efforts, hindi lang dito sa Kongreso, kundi ganoon din sa mga dialogo sa iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno. Ang mga nagbakwit na ng ilang beses, simula pa noong Hulyo at Nobyembre noong nakaraang taon, hanggang sa Pebrero nitong taon lamang. Ginoong Speaker, ang mga ito ay yun lamang mga naidokumento ng Save Our Schools Network. Marami pa po ang di pa naidodokumento dahil tinatakot, hinuhuli, at kinukulong maski ang mga naghahanap ng katotohanan at nagnanais na maging kabilang sa iba't ibang mga solidarity at fact-finding missions. Gayun din ang ginagawa sa mga human rights defenders o kaya naman kundi threat, harassment o intimidation ay pinapalaya sa bansa na kagaya ng ginagawang panggigipit at nakaambang na deportation kay Sister Pat. Sa kabuuan, Ginoong Speaker, may 534 na mga kaso ng mga pag-atake sa mga paaralan sa loob lamang ng 2 taon mula sa panunungkulan ni Pangulong Duterte. 385 o 72% sa mga kasong ito ay nangyari pagkatapos na maideklara ang martial law sa Mindanao. Sa mga kaso pa ng naitalang mga fake surrenderies, pagpapalipad ng mga drones, lalo na sa 10 oras ng gabi, ang mga ito ay iba yung nagdudulot ng malawakang takot sa mga kabataan at kanilang mga pamilya at komunidad. Nais po natin na katulad noong mga deliberasyon dito hinggil sa pagpataw ng batas militar sa Mindanao at gayon din ang pagpayag ng Kongresong ito sa isa pang taon na extension ng martial law sa Mindanao ay maiulat sa atin kung ano na nga ba ang kalagayan ng ating mga kababayan sa Mindanao. Nakakabahala na ang batas militar ay hindi lamang nagbigay daan sa hindi na mabilang na paglabag sa mga karapatang pantao. Ito rin ay ginagawang dahilan upang pahintulutan ang panghihimasok ng mga dayuhang kapangyarihan sa ating bansa. Para gapiin di umano ang terorismo. Ang presidente na mismo ang nagpasalamat sa gampanin ng Estados Unidos at Sina sa labanan sa Marawi. Lalo rin pinaigting ng US ang kanilang military intervention sa operasyon laban sa terorismo sa kanilang binansagan na Operation Pacific Eagle. Ang ating bayan ay di na dapat muling magpakatihulog sa malalim na patibong ng mga dayuhang kapangyarihan na nagpapalaganap ng takot at lagim ng terorismo para lalong lumaki ang mga biyak, mga dibisyon at hatiin ang hanay ng mamamayan para lang mas madulas na maipasok ang kanilang mga interes sa ating ekonomiya, politika at militar. Tulad na lang ng nangyari sa Syria, sa Venezuela, at iba pang mga bansa kung saan ang taong bayan ay nagsusulong ng kalayaan at mga demokratikong karapatan. Matuto na tayo sa mga naging karanasan ng mga bansang ito na nagpapakita lamang na walang mabuting maidudulot ang mga mapanghimasok na gera, hindi lamang ng Estados Unidos, kung hindi ang iba't iba pa ng mga bayan o mga bansa na nais manghimasok sa ating sariling bayan. Dapat tutulan ng taong bayan ang pagpapahintulot ng Pangulo na mangyari sa ating bayan, ang nangyaring pagwasak, mga pamamaslang sa Syria, Libya, at sa iba pang bahagi ng daigdig. Kaya naman, Ginoong Speaker, ang mga kabataan ay nananawagan na wakasan na ang batas militar sa Mindanao, dagli ang pull-out ng mga tropang Amerikano sa buong bansa, pagbabasura ng mga di pantay na kasunduan ng ating bansa sa iba pang mga bayan, at gayon din ang pagtutol sa panghihimasok at pinaigting na militarization ng China sa ating teritoryo. Mr. Speaker, higit pa nating pupuspusin ang mga pagsisikap para sa pag-abot ng kapayapaan na nakabatay sa katarungan at hustisya. Ang all-out war at mga militaristang patakaran ay hindi solusyon sa mga malalim ng nakaugat na suliranin ng bayan. Dulot nito ay iba yung panganib kaysa makabuti pa. Tayo ay dapat na tumindig at magkaisa para sa nakakatindig sa sarili na patakarang panlabas, itakwil ang dikta ng Estados Unidos, Sina, at iba pang mga imperialistang bansa, at ipagtanggol, tumindig para sa pambansang soberanya, para sa pambansang interes ng ating bayan. Mr. Speaker, it's clear to us, young people, that the pursuit of all-out peace entails an all-out fight. Kung ang kapayapaan at tunay na kalayaan ng ating bansa ang nakasaalang-alang, hindi po tayo mangingimi na magkaisa at lumaban. Maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the lady to the Committee on Rules.
Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Next to seek, Mr. Speaker, is the Honorable Tom Villarin, but may we know first if the gentleman is around for his speech. It appears, Mr. Speaker, that the Honorable Tom Villarin is not here, so may we proceed to recognize the gentleman from Bayan Muna, the Honorable Carlos Zarate, for his privileged speech. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Kinatawan mula sa Bayan Muna, kagalang-galang Carlos Sagani Zarate ay nire-recognize ng kapulungan ito para sa kanyang pribilehiyo.
Maraming salamat, Ginoong Speaker. Ginoong Speaker, sa Miyerkules po, gaya ng naturan ng ating kasama kanina sa Kabataan Party List, sa Miyerkules po, Mayo 23, ay ang unang taon ng dilubyong dumaluyong sa ating mga kababayan sa Mindanao. Ang pagpataw ng martial law or batas militar noong May 23, 2017. Ang pagpataw na ito ay nagdulot ng di masukat na pigati sa mamamayang Moro, Lumad at mga settlers dahil sa pagkawala ng mga buhay, ng mga ari-arian at paglapastangan sa karapatan ng napakarami nating mga kababayan. Noon, ngayon, ang batas militar ay napagpapakawala ng mabangis na pasismo sa ating mamamayan. Kaya naman, Ginoong Speaker, tulad ng panawagan ng kinatawang ito noong isang taon, noong ating pinagdidebatihan ng batas militar, ang ating tuloy-tuloy na panawagan, wakasan ang batas militar sa Mindanao. Noong isinangguni sa Kongreso upang basbasan ito ang batas militar na idineklara ni Pangulong Duterte, ang kinatawang ito, kasama ng iba pang mambabatas mula sa Makabayan Bloc, ay nagrehistro ng mariing pagtutol sa loob ng Kongreso, sa Korte Suprema, sa mga bulwagan, at maging sa mga kalsada. Paulit-ulit naming pinananawagan, Ginoong Speaker, ang pagbawi na at pagbibigay wakas sa batas militar sa Mindanao. At lalo pa nating tinutunggali ang pagpapalawig nito hanggang sa katapusan ng kasalukuyang taon. Ang mariin naming pagsalungat sa batas militar ay pinabibigat ng mga daing at paghihirap ng mga mamayang sumalo ng mga airstrikes, hamletting, pandarahas, pagpatay, pagkawala ng tirahan, pagnanakaw ng mga ari-arian, ang kahabag-habag na kalagayan sa evacuation centers ng mga bakwit at ang samut-saring paglabag sa karapatang pantao. Ginoong Speaker, dating makasaysayan, hitik sa kultura at sentro ng ekonomiya at edukasyon ng Lanao ang siyudad ng Marawi or the Islamic City of Marawi. Ngunit pagkatapos paulanan ng bomba, gawing lunsaran ng gerang walang puknat, ang dating maringal na Islamic City of Marawi ay tila naging abo. At higit sa lahat, ang mga mamamayang Moro na dati ay namuhay ng payapa at matiwasay ay nahaharap ngayon sa matinding humanitarian crisis dulot ng walang habas na pambobomba sa kanilang kabahayan at sakahan. Nasa 11,000 bahay ang nasira, 27,000 pamilya ang nawala ng tirahan, at malawakan ng krisis sa pisikal at mental na kalusugan dulot ng gera at saka rimari-marim na kalagayan sa mga evacuation centers. Magbigat, Ginoong Speaker, ang kasalanan ng pamalaang Duterte sa mamamayang Moro sa Marawi. Ang abang kalagayan ng mga bakwit ay pinalala pa ng itigil ang pamamahagi ng relief at cash assistance. Malayo pa ang hustisya, Ginoong Speaker, para sa kanila sa kalagayang Walang anumang sinasabi ang gobyerno upang matumbasan o ma-indemnify ang mga buhay ng mga sibilyan na nakitil sa Marawi Siege. Tahimik din ang pamahalaan sa compensation para sa mga ari-ariang winasak ng walang habas ng pambobomba ng kabuong syudad. Walang inaangking kasalanan ang pamahalaan sa tinatawag nilang failure of intelligence sa pagpasok ng mga grupong naghasik ng gawaing terorismo sa Marawi. Walang malinaw na plano ang gobyerno sa mga internally displaced persons or IDPs or ang ating tinatawag na mga bakwit. Wala ring pagkilala sa mga paglabag sa karapatang pantao na ginawa ng mga militar at lahat ng mga ahente ng Estado. Ang pagkawasak ng 20 moske at 30 madrasa na napakahalaga sa mga mamamayang Moro ay walang kilos upang maipanumbalik ito sa kasalukuyan. Wala rin sa prioridad ng ating pamahalaan ang pagsasabatas ng reparation law upang tugunan ang kalagayan ng mga kababayan natin sa Marawi. At higit sa lahat, Ginoong Speaker, walang paramdam ang gobyerno kung kailan ito ititigil ang batas militar sa Mindanao. Kaya, Ginoong Speaker, malinaw po ang panawagan ng ating mga kababayan. Nais ng mga mamamayang Moro na ma-rehabilitate ang Marawi sa pamamaraang sensitibo sa kanilang kultura at relihiyon. Nais nilang maipanumbalik ang Marawi para sa mamamayan nito at hindi para pagkakitaan ito mula sa pagkawasak. Ginoong Speaker, kapwa ko mababatas, ang batas militar sa buong Mindanao ay tila isang bangungot para sa mga mamamayan, hindi lamang sa Marawi, kundi sa iba't ibang bahagi ng Mindanao. Bago pa man indineklara ang batas militar, kaliwat kanan ang ginagawang pagpatay at panunupil sa mga mamamayan sa Mindanao, partikular sa mga komunidad ng lumad at ng mga magbubukid. Paano pa kaya ngayong naghari-harian na ang mga berdugong hukbo na binubuyo ng tirano nitong Commander-in-Chief? Halimbawa, sa kasalukuyan, Ginoong Speaker, maaring aristuhin ng sinuman sa ilalim ng batas militar, lalo na kung ang mga ito ay mahirap na magsasaka o maliliit na mga minero. Dadalhin ka ng mga sundalo sa police station sa gawa-gawang kaso ng pagnanakaw, habang walang imik na nakamasidlang ang mga komander at iba pang nakakataas sa kanila. Pagdating sa police station, itatali ka, bubugbugin, at pagkatapos ay ilalagay ka sa loob ng sirang ambulansya sa loob ng 9 na araw. Pakakainin ka lamang ng 6 na beses sa loob ng panahong ito. Ngayon, bat-bat ng torture ang isip at katawan at kailangan ka ng iligpit ng mga berdugo. Pasususutin ka ng mga uniforme ng mga militar, marahil para sabihing sundalo kang pinaslang ng maribuilding katang-isip. At karay-karay ng 20 sundalo, isasakay ka sa 6x6 patungo sa isang magubat na lugar. Doon, pahuhukayin ka ng sarili mong libingan at dahil hindi pa ubos ang kahayupan nila sa katawan, muli kang bubugbugin. Pagkatapos ay sasakalin ka. Hanggang sa tingin nila malagutan ka na ng hininga. Ihuhulog ka sa butas na mismong hinuhukay mo, bubuhusan ka ng langis, lalagyan ng mga panggatong sa kapalilibabin ang iyong katawan. Ganito, Ginoong Speaker, ang nangyari kay Johnny, 22 taong gulang, at kay Jerry, 16 na taong gulang, subalit sila ay nabuhay. Ginapang nila palabas ang lumiliyab na hukay at binagtas ang makabundukan ng ilang araw hanggang makarating sa kanilang mga tahanan. Nabuhay sila, sugatan ang katawan at isip upang ilahad ang paglapastangan sa kanilang pagkatao sa ilalim ng batas militar. Sina Johnny at Jerry ay dalawa lamang sa 22 biktima ng torture sa Mindanao na naitala ng grupong karapatan sa isang taong pananalasa ng batas militar. Nakakasuklam, Ginoong Speaker, na ang mga karumal-dumal na pangyayaring ito ay sinapit ng ating mga ordinaryong mamamayan, hindi sa kamay ng mga teroristang kinatatakutan, kundi sa kamay ng mga militar at pulis na dapat sana ay nangangalaga sa kanila. Mapait para sa mamamayan na ang armadong puwersa ng Estado ay siya pang kumikitil sa buhay, nagnanakaw ng kabuhayan at lumalabag sa karapatan. Kaya, Ginoong Speaker, gaya ng mga aral na dapat nating matutunan sa batas militar na idineklara ng diktador na si Ferdinand Marcos, ang batas militar ni Pangulong Duterte na kamay ng isang hukbong sandatahan na may mahabang record ng paglabag sa karapatang tao, ang batas militar sa kasalukuyan ay tulad rin ng hatol na bitay sa karapatan ng mamamayan. Ginoong Speaker, mga kapwa kong mambabatas, 1 taon na po ang batas militar. Ano ba ang nararating nito para sa atin? Naabot ba natin ang kasiguruhan o ang tinatawag nilang public safety? Natapos na ba ang rebelyon sa Kamindanawan? Naging mas mabuti ba ito sa kalagayan ng mamamayan sa Islamic City of Marawi at sa ibang lugar pa ng Mindanao? Malinaw, Ginoong Speaker, na hindi solusyon ang batas militar sa ugat ng armadong sigalutan. Hindi malulutas ng batas militar ang kawalan ng lupa ng mayoryang magsasaka. Malulutas ba ang pang-aapi sa Moro at Lumad? Malulutas ba ng batas militar ang kawalan ng trabaho at industrialisasyon? Malinaw po ang sagot, Ginoong Speaker, hindi. Malulutas ba ng batas militar ang panlalamang at pambubusabo sa atin ng mga imperialistang bansa katulad ng Estados Unidos at China at ang grabing militarisasyon ngayon sa ating teritoryo sa West Philippine Sea? Malinaw rin ang sagot na hindi, Ginoong Speaker. Kaya kapwa kong mababatas, Ginoong Speaker, tayo po ay may tanging pagkakataon upang ibsan ang paghihirap ng ating mamamayan sa ilalim ng 1 taong gulang ng batas militar sa Mindanao. Hinihimo ko ang bawat isa na manindigan para sa karapatan, para sa katarungan at para sa tunay na kapayapaang nakabatay sa panlipunang hustisya. Tapusin na ang batas militar sa Mindanao. Demokrasya, hindi diktadura. Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Speaker.
Maraming salamat po, Agranggalang Nasarate. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Zarate to the Committee on Rules.
Any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved.
Next
Majority
to
Leader.
speak, Mr. Speaker, is the gentleman from the Lone District of Baguio. I move that we recognize the Honorable Mark Go.
Thank you
The
very much.
gentleman from the Lone District of Baguio City, Honorable Mark Go, my party mate in Nationalista Party, is recognized to avail his privilege.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, today I rise on a matter of personal and collective privilege. In 2013, Congress brought a new genre of curriculum into the Philippine educational system. Essentially, it was about the additional 2 years to the status quo of 10 years of basic education. Thus, the senior high school curriculum came into being, delineating a template of basic education from kindergarten until grade 12. The Department of Education stated that it is committed to provide quality basic education that is equitably accessible to all and lays the foundation for a lifelong learning and service for the common good. It is an organization that is currently undergoing major reforms to meet the needs of Filipino learners in the 21st century. A number of policy reforms are being initiated by the department to improve the delivery of basic education and student learning outcomes. One of these policy reforms is the adoption and implementation of the Enhanced Basic Education, or known as K-12 program. As a result of the implementation of such novel policy reform, this year, 1.2 million public senior high school students would constitute as the pioneering graduates of the K-12 curriculum. 61% of the 1.2 million, or 765,000, completed the academic track, and close to 480,000 finished under the technical vocational livelihood track. The urgent and candid question is, have our fresh K-12 graduates now come out as the desired results of the mold of the new educational policy? We must understand that this is a question which must be reckoned with what the Department of Education has envisioned in implementing the K-12 curriculum as a way of revolutionizing the educational landscape of the Philippines. The K-12 curriculum is skills-oriented. It aims to develop students imbued with the 21st century skills, such as information, media, and technology, learning and innovation, communications, life, and career. A study conducted by the Philippine Business for Education said that only about 20% of the 70 of the country's leading companies across all sectors were inclined to hire senior high school graduates. Accordingly, companies accept only job applicants with at least 2 years of college education, which potentially excludes senior high school graduates. The hesitance to hire fresh graduates is due to the absence of the necessary skills and training that industries need, but not yet provided by the current senior high school program. Alberto Phoenix, the President of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industries Human Resources Development Foundation, is skeptical about the success of the delivery of the objectives of the senior high school program. He said, "At the time, we really have no confidence that the senior high school graduates, do have it." He said that 80 hours that senior high school students were required to log at work were not enough for them to learn the rigors of the industry that they want to get into. We might as well consider this radical remark. If this could be true, then the expected vision of the K-12 curriculum to produce graduates possessed with 21st century skills who are ready for work is a failure. Therefore, the only legal or logical move is to abandon the implementation of the K-12 program. Perhaps the best rebuttal to this assessment is, what advantage will the requirement of at least 2 years of college education set over the enhanced 2 years of senior high school education as a criterion for employment? Will those 2 years of college education guarantee the possession of skills which companies look for in job applicants and which are rather found insufficient or non-existent in the senior high school curriculum as they claim? The question of fact begins, have skills been developed or not in the senior high school graduates? Or would the 56 leading companies be declared as right in saying there is nothing to expect from senior high school graduates? The other issue here is, why does our government tend to cater the needs of the 70 of the country's leading companies? It's definitely leaning to a polarization issue, a functional citizen in the workplace versus a good citizen in a nationalistic paradigm. We take another observation which is relevant. We notice that our education today has become industry-based. That is, our education has been subservient to the demand of the industry. The value of education is measured in terms of its practical application, of its employability and monetary gain. The pragmatic view of education is evident in the K-12 curriculum. It would appear that even with the noblest intention of K-12 to secure employment among graduates after completing senior high school, the program remains treated as falling short in giving holistic formation of the person of each graduate as a citizen of our country. Will education in general be geared towards utilitarianism or towards humanism? This question shall bring us to consider the philosophy behind the K-12 program. The Department of Education has envisioned the senior high school program to produce graduates prepared for higher education and capable of starting their own businesses or land a job even without a college degree. Again, this has already been met with skepticism. Interestingly, at the other end of the issue, Senator Grace Poe has urged the private sector to hire K-12 program graduates to experience actual work. filing Senate Resolution number 700, she said, "The successful implementation of the reforms under Republic Act number 10533 or the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013 requires the cooperation of the private sector as they comprise a major part of the demand side of the market and can thus allow or prevent K-12 graduates from finding decent and fulfilling employment. Will the private sector pay heed to such resolution, or will it remain autonomous as to assert its prerogative to select workers or employees? Has the Department of Education been able to address the shortage in classrooms, teachers, and instructional materials in lieu of the implementation of the K-12 program? This also one of the issues that this representation needs to find out. On the other hand, as the government preempted the workforce that should find its corresponding private or public working stations in the world, Assistant Education Secretary Nepomuceno said, "The failure to find employment was not always due to the graduates being unprepared for work, but may be attributed to the realities in the labor front that both the government and the industries needed to address. It was not a certainty that senior high school students who opt not to go to college could find suitable jobs just because they have acquired the skills and competencies for particular types of work. He continued, "Right now, we have to take into consideration that it is not just a matter of preparedness of our students for work. It is also about the preparedness of our economy to accommodate work." According to the 2017 Socioeconomic Report of the National Economic and Development Authority, the national unemployment rate last year reached 5.7%, up from 5.5% in 2016. It also noted that youth unemployment also rose to 14.4%, and the present administration planned to cut it down to 11%. Unemployment or employment creation remains a challenge, as there were around 663,243 net employment losses in 2017, as reported by NEDA. My dear colleagues, the challenge at hand is to gather impartial assessment from the initial implementation of the K-12 program. This representation has marked three areas of concern. First, has the K-12 curriculum been tailored indeed to develop 21st century skills? If so, then why the skepticism of the hiring sector? Second, has the K-12 curriculum been designed to be industry-driven, forgetting that education does not only serve utilitarian purposes? Third, has the economy in general been prepared to meet the influx?
Gentleman on the floor, the time allotted is expired. Majority Leader.
With the indulgence of the gentleman, Mr. Speaker, our 45 minutes extension has just expired. We are constrained to move for another extension of 15 minutes, considering that we have another speaker after the Honorable Go. With that, I move that we extend the privilege hour for another 15 minutes.
Any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, again, I move that we recognize the Honorable Go for the continuation of his
Honorable
privileged
Mark
speech.
Go from Alon District of Baguio City is recognized to continue his privileged speech.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Third, has the economy in general been prepared to meet the influx of K-12 graduates? The K-12 program must be assessed at both its practical implications, procedural viabilities, as well as its philosophical leanings. Personally, I must think that the K-12 program is started off with the best of intentions to produce globally competitive graduates, and in fact would remain its advocate. Against the fair observation from the other stakeholders that the K-12 may have failed in some areas, I remain positive that those are curable and can be remedied with appropriate workable solutions. We must remember that this K-12 program, this policy reform in education, has been taken freshly from the oven, so to speak. And perhaps on that fact, we might as well give it a benefit of a stout belief that it will work eventually as planned. My dear colleagues in this august chamber, if indeed education pays the best interest, then we may as well revisit the purpose to which the K-12 has been directed. Against some pledging criticism against it, it is too early to terminate or suspend its continuous implementation. Against some future inutility of it, however, it is urgent to subject it under strict scrutiny and evaluation. The moment is now. A critical look at the K-12 program after its initial implementation is a proper attitude. What is at stake is our national mind, for we believe that an informed citizenry is a guarantee of preserving our identity as Filipinos. If the K-12 is truly an investment, then we must as well guarantee its triumphant dividends. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and good evening to everybody.
Thank you, Representative Go. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I respectfully move to refer the speech of the Honorable Mark Go to the Committee on Rules.
Any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, respectfully move to acknowledge Representative Arlene D. Brosas, who will avail of the privilege hour from the party list Gabriela.
From
So
the
moved,
party
Mr.
list,
Speaker.
Gabriela, Honorable Arlene Brosas is recognized to avail her privilege.
Yes, maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sa isang araw mula ngayon ay ikaunang taon ng simula ng ibaba ang martial law sa Mindanao. May 23, 2017, unang ibinaba ang 60 days na martial law sa buong Mindanao at sa Miyerkules ay mag-iisang taon na itong nagpapahirap at patuloy na nagpaparami ng human rights violations sa Mindanao. Ang martial law ay dinulot ng digmaan sa pagitan ng gobyerno at ng pamilyang Maute na umano'y may dikta ng ISIS. Ang nakasaad sa konstitusyon na dapat ay 60 days na nagpapasailalim sa batas militar ay pinalawig lalo ng kapulungang ito at ng Senado noong Hulyo 2017. Ang dapat ay mabilisang pagbangon ng Marawi at Mindanao mula sa kasuklam-suklam na digmaan ay binusala ng extension ng martial law hanggang Disyembre ng taong ito sa kadahilan ng total eradication ng tinaguriang Islamic State terror groups ng pamahalaan. Ngunit malinaw na ang pagpapasailalim at pagpapalawig ng batas militar, hindi lamang sa Marawi kundi sa buong Mindanao ay malinaw na konkretong hakbang sa balangkas ng counter-insurgency program ng administrasyon. Bago pa man ang pagpataw ng martial law ay laganap na ang militarisasyon sa Mindanao. Sunod-sunod ang mga resolusyon na ipinasa ng progresibong grupo sa pagnanais na maimbestigahan ang mga pang-aabuso ng state forces sa mamamayan sa rehiyon. Dinala din ang mga isyong ito ng lakbayan ng Pambansang Minorya noong Agosto 31, 2017. Sinubukan din ng mga kapatid nating Maranao na dalhin ang hinaing ng rehiyon noong special session para sa panukalang pag-extend ng martial law noong Hulyo 2017. Ngunit sila mismo ay hindi pinakinggan ng kapulungan. Nais nilang ipanawagan ang pagtigil sa militarisasyon sa buong Mindanao at ang pagbaklas sa batas militar. Ang martial law sa Mindanao ay lumagas na sa 76 na inosenteng buhay dahil sa extrajudicial killings. Naririyan sina Abol Amatonding, Suhai Batalao at Ramos Malik. Sila ay ilan lamang sa mga biktima ng pandarahas ng Estado. Ang pagpataw ng batas militar din ang nagpalikas sa mahigit 400,000 Maranao. Ang martial law na sinasabing para sa public safety ang naglunsad sa mga sumusunod na paglabag sa karapatang pantao. March 23, 2017, araw ng pagdeklara ng martial law sa Mindanao, binomba ang Marawi, apektado ang 96 barangay, 325,294 residents, 65,198 families. Sa araw ding iyon, pinatay ng 6 na suspected state agents ng 71st IBPA si Pedro Pandagay sa sitio Biao, Barangay Anitapan, Mabili, Compostela Valley, May 24, 2017, si Ramos Malik, gunned down by the AFP in Barangay Cameri, Lanao del Sur. March 26, 2017, Virgilio Balungag was gunned down by 3 suspected state agents in Purok 8A, North Poblacion, Don Carlos, Bukidnon. April 2, 2017, Danilo Nadal was killed by 2 unnamed soldiers from the 46th IBPA in Purok 2, Barangay Tibagon, Pantukan, Compostela Valley. April 6, 2017, soldiers from the 60th IBPA killed Elias Pureza in Purok Palmera, Barangay Mamangan, San Isidro, Davao Oriental. April 8, 2017, Bernardo Ripdos was gunned down by 5 unnamed soldiers of the 46th and 71st IBPA in Purok 1, Barangay Sangab, Maco, Compostela Valley. April 23, 2017, San Fernando bombing of the Philippine Air Force, 30 soldiers of the 60th IBPA, apektado ang 19 families sa sitio Salumpikit, Barangay Bonacao, San Fernando, Bukidnon. May 3, 2017, Federico Plaza was killed by 2 unnamed agents of the 66th IBPA in Barangay Poblacion, Maragusan, Compostela Valley. May 9, 2017, soldiers of the 3rd IB Task Force Haribon under the 7th Infantry Division bomb Barangay Dominga, Calinan District, Davao City, affecting 251 families or 1,014 residents. On the same day, Rodolfo Jr. Dagahuya was killed by the same state agents. May 27, 2017, suspected element of the 67th IBPA killed Ana Marie Ahumada in Barangay Lukod, Bagana, Davao Oriental. May 31, 2017, soldiers of the 46th IBPA killed Jesse Cabeza in Barangay Mascareg, Mabini, Compostela Valley. June 1, 2017, napilitang magbakwit ang 105 residente ng sitio Salumpikit, Barangay Bonacao, San Fernando, Bukidnon dahil sa pagkakampo ng 60th IBPA. June 9, 2017, 1,014 residents of Barangay Dominga, Calinan District, Davao City forcibly evacuated due to the presence of the 3rd IB Task Force Haribon under the 7th IB. June 10, 2017, forced evacuation of 1,820 residents of Sitio Nges, Luyong, Cubo, Sakugan, Tinagdanan due to militarization brought by 12 soldiers of Marine Battalion Landing Team 2 and 50 DMCI Consunji guards. June 23, 2017, forced evacuation of 1,000 residents of President Rojas North Cotabato and Damulog, Bukidnon due to presence of 240 soldiers of the 39th IBPA. June 25, 2017, bombing of President Rojas North Cotabato. June 25, 2017, forced evacuation of more than 1,000 residents of Sitio Datalfitao, Barangay Colonsabak, Matano, Davao del Sur due to the presence of the 73rd IB and 39th IBPA. July 1, 2017, Purok 4, Tagbawi, and Sitio Inuburan, Barangay Real, Moncayo, Compostela Valley was bombed by the 25th IBPA, Philippine Air Force, affecting 40 families. And many others. Nang September 24, 2017, Magpet bombing of Purok 1, Sitio Kimampang, Sitio Ranzo, Purok 2, Barangay Balite, Magpet, North Cotabato, affecting and forced evacuation of 4 families. September 28, 2017, Rene Boy Magayano gunned by 2 military agents to the 66th IBPA in Maragusan Public Market, Maragusan, Compostela Valley. October 28, 2017, Arnel Otocan, EJK, victim in Barangay Kabasagan, Boston, Davao Oriental, perpetrator, 67th IBPA. November 16, 2017, binaril ng mga elemento ng 29th IB ng Philippine Army si Perfecto Boy Hoyles sa Purok 4, Barangay Kanaway, Kitcharaw, Agusan del Norte. Ang mga latest po ay September 5, 2017, a Kafgu named Ben Salangani of Sitio Barobo killed Obelio Bayao, grade 6 Lumad student in Sitio Dulian, Talaingod, Davao del Norte. And August 28, 2017, ang dinakip, tinorture at tinangkang sunugin pa ng 86th IBP si alias Jerry 16 sa Tagum City. June, Mark Ato, 15 years old, pinaslang ng AFP. Hindi lamang tuwing May 23 natin gugunitain ang martial law. Dahil hanggang hindi binabasura at inaalis ang batas militar sa Mindanao, ay tiyak na patuloy na madaragdagan ang mahabang listahan ng mga biktima. Araw-araw lumalala ang pasismo at tiraniya na lalong pinalala ng martial law. Sa paglaganap ng karahasan at pambubusabos sa mamamayan, isang responsibilidad ang makialam, tumindig at lumaban. Kasaysayan ang nagturo sa atin, ang pandarahas sa mamamayan ay nagpapaigting at nagpapatingkad sa pag-aaklas. Patuloy ang panawagan ng representasyong ito at ng Gabriela Women's Party, never again lift martial law in Mindanao at imbestigahan ang lahat ng kaso ng pang-aabuso sa karapatang pantao, hustisya para sa mga Maranao at kapatid nating Moro, hustisya para sa mga biktima ng paglabag sa karapatang pantao. Maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that to refer the speech of the Honorable Arlene D. Brosas to Committee on Rules.
Any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we terminate the privilege hour.
Any objection? The motion is approved. The privilege hour is terminated. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we are in receipt of the Bicameral Conference Committee report on the disagreeing provisions of House Bill number 6915 and Senate Bill number 1103 on establishing a branch of the Polytechnic University of the Philippines in the municipality of Sablayan, province of Occidental Mindoro. Mr. Speaker, in accordance with the rules, I move that we ratify the said Bicameral Conference Committee report.
Any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we designate the following members of the Bicameral Conference Committee on the disagreeing votes on House Bill number 5367, or reapportioning the 6th and 7th legislative districts of the province of Cavite to create an additional legislative district to be known as the 8th legislative district of the province of Cavite. These are Representative Pedro Acharon Jr., Representative Rene Relampagos, Representative Luis Ferrer IV, and Representative Arlene Arcillas. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? The chair is none. The following members, Representative Pedro Acharon Jr., Representative Rene Relampagos, Representative Luis Ferrer IV, Representative Arlene Arcillas, are designated to be members of the Bicameral Conference Committee on the disagreeing votes on House Bill number 5367.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we designate the following members to the Bicameral Conference Committee on the disagreeing votes on House Bill number 5160, or converting the municipality of Santo Tomas in the province of Batangas into a component city to be known as the City of Santo Tomas. The following representatives are Representative Pedro Acharon Jr., Representative Luis Ferrer IV, Representative Maria Teresa Colliantes, and Representative Arlene Arcillas.
Any
So moved,
objection?
Mr. Speaker.
The chair is none. The motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the additional reference of business be read by the Secretary General.
Any objection from the House? The chair is none. The Secretary General is hereby directed to read the additional reference of business.
Additional reference of business committee report. Report number 741 on House Bill number 7742.
To the Committee on Rules.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adjourn session until tomorrow, May 22 at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
The session is adjourned until May 22, 2018 at 4 in the afternoon.